Hello, everybody. We are extra late and extra gay today because we did not stream yesterday because Spoon was having problems with Microsoft when your microphone, right? It's two micro problems, macro shit.
It's
and you were having some
now.
more problems again just now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway.
It happens, you know.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It seems to be okay now.
It do be like that, Mr. Stancil. Did we totally miss covering the "it do be like that, Mr. Stancil" meme? I don't think we talked about it on air at all.
We broached it momentarily.
I mean, I kind of wish that meme. I hope it has some more longevity to it because I feel like it's already fizzled out. Apparently you're a bit quiet, Spoon. You sound a bit quiet to me too, but that's through Discord, so a little bit. You sound a bit deep too. Are you alright, buddy?
My throat's kind of mangled, hence why.
Oh shit. Do you have a cold or?
There we go. I should sound a bit better now.
You're very gravelly though, sir. You feeling alright?
I sound like.
But a little bit more so than usual. I hope you're okay, Spoon. We have a lovely trough full of slop for you all this evening. You know, like when we talk about the slop cycle or whatever, or political slop, and how it tends to move from, you know, current thing to current thing to current thing. Sometimes it just, and as we point out basically weekly, things like woke are being phased out. But it's interesting to me when you can I mean, look, I'm happy woke's going away as well, but I'm not happy that the new thing is the fucking kosher right. And this, you know, the distractionary Epstein saga stuff, which is such theatrical bullshit
yes.
from all sides involved. And I'm so sick of this little play that they are putting on regarding the Epstein files and just how transparent it is that it's farcical.
Oh yeah, it's clearly bollocks. I just don't quite know why the hell people still fall for it.
I don't either. We're going to talk about it, though. And I want to at least talk about it from the angle of, look at this, like, so poorly orchestrated play that they're putting on to which it is, you know, dangling the keys. Look at this stuff. Ooh, are they going to be released? Ooh. It's so dumb. And then, of course, there has been, so that's general kosher right stuff and that whole, well, we need to purge the right wing of the dissidents. You got to move into our core values. Israel. Great. Yeah. Love it, guys.
Also, the reason why I sound like this is because my throat's kind of screwed, and so I'm not yelly. This is.
Were you up late or something, or?
No, I don't know why. This is my normal. This is what I normally sound like when I just talk. This is
yeah.
This is not when I'm. Whoa. This is just normal Spoon. Normal Spoon and Midnight Hour.
All right, guys. Oh, real quick.
Bill, hello.
Important news. Yes, Bill Arden says hello. Hello, Arden. Important news off of a fucking joke that I made last week while Uzulu was here and Spoon was not because he had other engagements essentially. But I thought, well, you know, Uzulu's down to stream, so we'll have him on. I don't really remember how the entire joke about Uzulu flirting with my mother started, but I did think there's no way anyone's going to give us any money for this, right? There's no way that's going to happen. And I thought, oh, you know, we'll get a couple of, like, joke donos, it'll be funny, but I said $1,000 to get my mother to come on the stream, right? Not thinking there is any chance in how we would get, you know, any significant portion of that, and therefore I wouldn't have to do it, or in any way address it. However, Cerberus 5734 gave $500 to get my mom on. So next week, we will be having my mother on and Uzulu in some sort of event thing. I don't really know
Tune
what
in
that's...
right before for the stream where I drink diesel and set myself on fire.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I think I'll join you in that, sir.
Fuck you, Will. This is my diesel. Get your own.
So I guess, yeah, apparently
Bill, I will join you. I will bring
crowdfunded We have crowdfunded setting
Next week
Oozaloo
for the
and my
mass
mum
suicide
up
of the podcast
on a
cast, and
live stream date.
then it becomes Oozaloo and Aiden's mum for the rest of the show.
Oh my god, please no. I'm gonna try to make
you
it
do
short.
realize I will not be on for that show. I will be in the audience watching the train wreck.
Look,
'cause
tune
it'll
in
be
from
far
next
from
week.
here.
The show will change its name to Ooze Oo Woo, and that will be that.
No, it was Ooze
We'll
Your
be
Daddy,
deceased.
okay? That was the
not
obvious.
God.
Sobriety fleeing my body.
I know, right? Oh my god. How do you
I
think
need to
I
be
feel?
sober
Do you think I like this? This is
Yes, I do.
No, I
Sounds the
don't. This
absolute
is so
cringe.
stupid. It's the dumbest thing we've ever done.
And my whiskey rack
We've done
is
some
not
dumb
next to me
shit.
currently. It's down the
Usually
hallway.
paid for the hour. He's a get the whole hour.
Arden Party says he'll perform the ceremony live. Yeah, wowee, it's gonna be a real show. Anyway, the week
Saints
after
for the
that.
exorcism.
You know when people say
The week
pay to
after
play,
that.
this is not really what they had in mind.
No, the week after that, we'll be joined by Politicrat, who's got a new piece coming out that's going to be published about what does the Democrat Party do from here? Because as we're going to look at today,
But he's glad that his
I
part
don't
in this is getting
see-
delayed a week for this fuckery.
I don't think these people have any idea. And by the way, the conservatives aren't any better as to what the fuck they're doing. The Democrats, though, in particular, are so rudderless currently. It's why their stuff with their whole sort of reaction way of dealing with the Epstein files is incomprehensible.
Screech.
And it is all. It's actually. I mean, it's just so bizarre. I don't think they have any clue what they're doing. By the way,
You're
Lamented
expecting
Guide.
direction from the people whose their main
No.
voter base slash their fucking boat the second that the Coast Guard's in sight, so they can try and get into the country to begin with.
Yeah. Lamented Guide's been a member for 16 months, says, differently punctual and heterosexually challenged. We are indeed. And speaking of heterosexually challenged, my new video is mostly done. I got the go-ahead from my sponsor, so I'm looking at putting that up probably on Saturday or Sunday. So keep, your eyes peeled on my channel for a new video about it was a mass scale data set analysis I did with two huge data sets on global terrorism and terrorism in America, one since 1948, one since 1975. All new statistics, all new numbers, and a lot of that, and a different way of looking at, I've talked about it on the stream quite a few times about what it was that I pulled away from the analysis, but it's in detail. Why is it that when in all of this discussion of who commits more violence, particularly in light of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, well, I think I figured it out. And I know we previewed it the other night. There were some errors in it, but I've been going through and fixing them and trying to clean it up so it looks real spiffy. But yeah, it's pretty strong
Yes,
evidence
it's
for what I would call left-wing incompetence, which explains the violence gap. It is not a lack of violent intent, plans to violence. In fact, their entire moral system is based around preferring violence as a tactic. What it is that they seem to be really incompetent. And I know that that's kind of a no-duh finding, but being able to pull it out of hard mass-scale data sets and go, ooh, this is a consistent trend between the US and the UK, and it's the exact same thing where it appears that they just suck at violence, which is a hard thing to admit that, because it's not hard to admit to. It's a strange thing to have to admit to, though, is that, hey, our foes suck, at least in terms of terroristic level violence. Comparatively, they just suck at it, because it's not really like bragging rights to say, yeah, the right is better at violence when it comes to terrorism.
Define
I don't really like
terror
that.
level of violence. Like, what does that mean? Just against the state?
No, that's a specific type of
Okay.
terrorism. But it's so meaning an attack that someone brings a gun, a bomb, some other attack on a group of people, an individual, or something like that. That's deemed as terrorism by there's a couple of different organizations that do this. But I didn't just stop there. I went through and read a hell of a lot of the actual reports myself in detail, and was like, yeah, this is because there were a couple where really when it came down to individual incidents, like, for example, there were about 5 or so incidents that were attributed to anti-government extremism, or no, it was specifically sovereign citizens. That was the one I looked into. So all of the ones I went through there, because I'm thinking, what the heck is sovereign citizen violence? And as I say in the video,
Basically
there's
a
fallibility.
illegal human being.
Yeah. Well,
Messes.
there's fallibility in the data sets because, well, they're curated by humans, and then another human is going through and assessing what's in the data set. So there's going to be, there's obviously, it's far from beyond critique. Inherently, it was just me doing the same analysis from my perspective, I ended up coming to very similar conclusions to what a lot of other people who've gone through these data sets have come to. But I looked at a different aspect of them than anyone else has, actually. I've not seen anybody else look at this part of the data, which is failed attempts. And specifically looking at, like, if the failed attempt rate, so detected, meaning foiled or flopped, like they tried to do something, but they didn't manage to kill anybody, or they tried or injure anyone, or it was foiled and stopped before it could take place. And what I found is that there's a way higher incident of foiled attacks discovered before they were actually committed. There's also, well, I mean, it's statistically significant. And there's a significantly lower rate of death and injury that's attributable to a broad-scale left-wing violence. That's due to any number of rationales, whether it be environmental extremism, animal rights extremism, anti-white stuff, anti-Trump, pro-trans. It doesn't really matter. Any type of broad-level left-wing cause to action that gets people to go out and hurt people, they are less effective at causing harm, and their plots are more likely to be detected before they're enacted. To me, that looks like a skill issue, and which is a crazy way to have to think about it. But it is kind of, Jesus, that's because, you know, you look at these statistics all the time, they always say the right is more violent, the right is more violent. They are. We are, I guess. I don't know. The right is more violent because the right is more competent at violence. This is a weird finding to pull out, but I think it's accurate. Anyway, that'll be this weekend. Let's, before we get into the news, we have a quite number of super chats here. Let me get these real quick. HF and H.
Yeah, why is your name that all of a sudden?
Maybe is it easier than Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz? Pretend this says, never underestimate the autism of your chats, burb. Yeah, I know. I feel so, I couldn't believe that we got a big donor for kind of the dumbest thing ever. To be fair, I talk about my mother from time to time. I think it will be funny.
She might be in this chat right now for all we friggin' know.
She often is. She almost always is live. So or listening live or shortly afterwards. So yes.
Hello,
so
Mrs.
my mother
Aiden,
listens to the show.
Well,
then to make matters worse,
listening to this, that means I have to cut it off that language.
Yes, there's quite a few adults listening, I think. To make matters worse, though, she DM'd me afterwards, and she said, and I quote, because she's playing along, okay? She said, Uzaloo is so sexy, which made me want to shoot myself. Thanks,
you didn't
Mother.
have to repeat that to anyone.
Well, because now I see I'm getting fucked with by everybody. Like, everybody, I'm the one who's suffering here. Thanks for the money, though.
No, fuck this week shit. Give me 60 grand. I'll buy an executioner sword and decapitate myself on stream.
Don't do that, Bill, no! Why would anyone pay for that?
60
Bill,
grand,
no.
I'll fucking pay for that. If I had it.
Not to decapitate yourself, please, sir. JPTDM 17 for 10 says the Dems will go with the Mamdani method for their future, and there's a lot of evidence for that is happening right now. There's a bunch of new Democratic Socialist candidates that have announced their candidacy in the wake of Mamdani's win. It looks like they're going to try to do a little bit of that. Immigrant self-interest and sucking resources from Americans under the guise of socialism. It's the only way that they have with any energy left. Yeah. I mean, that's partially it. It is kind of just trying to drain the last little bits out of the system.
He's a basic bitch shitlib, though.
He is.
Yeah.
You're going to see some of that as the switch sort of from woke into just full-blown socialism commie stuff. I think that seems to be it for me, or what I'm witnessing with this. Woke's going away, so instead what are they pivoting to? And it appears to be violent commie stuff. Like, actual...
So basically just commie.
Yeah, but they in the past they have generally tried to, while enacting violence, generally tried to be like, no, it's just because we love everybody. We want everyone to have free healthcare, that kind of shit. But I think we're gonna see probably a little bit of escalation towards that for a while on the left, and I think that'll be put away too. And eventually it'll be returned to sensible centrism, right, for a while. That's my prediction. The
right-wing equivalent would be time for guillotines.
The right wing is going to go. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the pivot to kosher right, because I can't tolerate that shit, and I don't think anyone likes it. It seems to be extraordinarily unpopular and a very difficult thing to try and get people to take up any sort of concern or care regarding. Nobody wants no one wants the politics of America. Well, with a few exceptions. Wants the politics of America to revolve exclusively around Israel. except for people who have ties to Israel. And people on both the left and the right, and all over the political spectrum, are pretty freaking tired of it. The Lindsay Reich cometh. I've got some stuff from Lindsay tonight. Yeah. And then let's see, Gary Thomas.
Contributed to the show.
Gary Thomas for
guaranteed Spoon will flirt with Aiden's mother as he does with all his co-hosts. Since when the hell did I do that? I have never flirted with Vex, I'll have you know.
You never flirted with me.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Because that kind of narrows it down then, doesn't it, boys and girls?
Yeah, what?
Have I hit on Bill before?
Okay. Obviously.
Have I?
That's obviously what I see what's going on.
Utter tart.
I see what's going on here. Let's see.
Have we both just been
Gary
nice
Thomas...
to each other? Because that's basically what constitutes a flirt in these fucking days, let's be honest.
Things are
Yeah.
Gary Thomas 784945 says, "Hey Triumphant Trio, I found out that my mom has got to go into hospice care for cancer today, so the live stream is a welcome distraction." I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully we'll have something that's... Well, we're certainly going to look at some distractions. That's... I hope your mom absolutely the best, man.
Godspeed.
Yeah, Godspeed.
So we have to do some dumb shit to make up for that. We can watch anything to do with... James Lindsay's in the news again.
Yeah, I got a James Lindsay thing. That's always fun.
You can basically make fun of him on a weekly basis because there's guaranteed
really
you can say some dumb fucking shit.
It's a perpetual meme machine.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of super chats coming in. Just so you know, it doesn't count towards Bill's 60 grand execution sword fund unless you specifically add Deus Vult to the end.
Let's see. Mighty Biscuit for 5 says, "Well, my first time."
Sorry, those who will enter into a draw to be the second on site.
He's trying to fucking fund a fucking, what is that? An axe? You said an executioner's axe?
Sword.
Oh, a sword. Okay.
Mighty Biscuit, chat, for God's sake.
I'm sure it's a German one.
That's true. Mighty Biscuit for 5 says, "Well, first time I ever caught you guys live. Hey, hey Spoon. Hey Aiden. Hope that VTuber comes back to help Aiden bully Spoon."
You see the same stream we did.
Yeah, I mean that would be funny.
The rest of us
you mean if you mean Amalgamite? Yeah, I spoke to her recently about one of the things I think I'm gonna start doing is doing shorts on my channel to try and, I don't know, get at least like eyes drawn towards the main videos. I'm still trying to make big documentary videos, but I gotta find some way to. I don't know. The YouTube algorithm has changed. They changed the way they've done everything and what they want people to make.
Told
it's frustrating.
To do that for freaking months now.
To do shorts? Do you do shorts?
No.
So.
Why do I need to?
I don't know. Well, okay, because the other thing is that I get a bunch of these emails from scammers who are like, "Hey, hire us to do shorts for you." And so I'm like, well, that sounds like a bad idea if it's what Indian scammers are emailing me about, but I guess I'm going to do some shorts. And see how that works, right? For the new video. We'll see how that pans out. Ardent Party for 10 says, "The right isn't more violent, simply better versed, more committed and capable, so when we act, we're far more effective. Plus, cheap ad, I will read part 3, Live and Let Die, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Rumble. Hi, Aiden's mom." Thank you, Arden. And yeah, go check out Arden's channel on Rumble. Let's see. Trybeard5291 for 20 euros. Thank you, man. It says, "Hey, Aiden, loved having you on the It's Space Game Jam on Saturday. Yeah, it was a really fun time. It was great to check out all the games and cool to hang out with Ian. And yeah, it was just a fun time. Hope to have you and Spoon on for another It's Space Game Jam event next year." Absolutely, man. Just let me know. Very fun. Very cool. And I did post about that on Twitter, guys, but we reviewed some different indie video games and, it was a really, cool, chill, fun event. Sean Kennedy, 2166 for 5 euros says, "My fellow conservatives, we all need to get circumcised and disavow Jesus." Yeah, I know, right? Yes, my fellow conservative. Thank you, man. Optimus Jedi for 5 says, "Make sure your mom hydrates and does her stretches. Is Ooze Boy a gentleman or a jackhammer?" I can't... Why? Why would you... I'm so repulsed and revolted and sickened by... Thank you, Optimus Jedi, for the $5. Okay. Let's watch something else. But look, this is also disgusting, so we're just gonna move from one disgusting thing into another. Well, I don't know, this is kind of funny.
Bill, you want to take a swig of that paint thinner now?
No, I'm staying sober today. God help
me. Oof. It makes me want to fucking just evaporate and
I
leave
make
this
discourse for
mortal
$5
world.
with N.
Oh shit, we're getting a tower going. Let's go, lads. Well, let's go. While we're I'll keep checking that. Let's watch this. Democrats are calling for a coup, essentially a military coup. This is just this is bizarre.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
I'd love that they just have a former Fed in there like that.
I'm hearing
Is equivalent,
glowy,
you know?
glowy.
Just like
Also,
and
I don't want to
another
hear
one
about
here.
it from fucking
And another one here, the other
Senator
woman.
Kelly, who, living up to the name, I don't trust anyone to help rule a country who is in such a hurry to leave the fucking planet. I'm assuming the Alamow's got to you. Fuck you.
It seems like, but dude, but it's interesting how both the women are former Feds, right? And former in quotations,
How
right?
else would someone like that get into
Avoid,
power?
yes.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that
No, they
trust is
don't.
at risk.
This administration
I don't think so. I mean, I think that Americans
Not
used to
since,
probably
like,
have a
the
lot of
50s.
trust in soldiers, I'd say,
My
individual
good God,
soldiers, and respect for
that man's
individual
eyes.
servicemen.
These lopsided troglodytes.
He is, yeah.
Jesus.
What
The entry
Americans,
was not kind to this man.
what the American people have respect for are servicemen. They
Not
don't
for
have
fucking
respect for
glowies.
the. I don't think they. Yeah, they don't have respect for glowies, and I don't think they have respect for the institution of the armed forces overall. Kind of hard for that to be the case after
How is
all the
half of
fucking
his
shit
let's-
face
they
let's
fucked
ask- let's
up
ask a
different from the
serviceman.
rest of
30
them?
years in the Middle East,
Let's
you
ask
know,
the
or
fucking people who went through
Vietnam,
Nam
Yeah.
how they feel about the company.
right?
How they like being pumped full of combat drugs and their sea rations and having to tag along as some CIA operative in a helicopter informs one of the locals that they're going to be walking home from 30,000 feet in the air.
Yeah. Dustin Shupak 4977 for 10 says, I never liked the framing of the woke is getting put away. Makes it sound like it's defeated when it's just going to slink back into the shadows of academia and evolve as it did
All these-
before. Yeah.
All these things are tools that get put
well-
in the cupboard and then brought back out.
Right. I the reason why I use it, one is I think it's accurate. And the reason I think it's accurate is because it doesn't imply, maybe it comes off that way, but it's not meant to imply that it's defeated. It is being put away, which means it can be brought back out at any point. And that's sort of, and you see it in political cycles, things come and go. And right now it does really seem that they are putting the final nails in the coffin of woke. But curiously, because woke is now going away, and I want to see if this continues. I'm starting to see a discourse about COVID coming back up, because now that's so far removed, whereas like previously COVID had kind of been the big thing and it had to be
Did you see the
collectively
Sam
forgotten
Harris
about. Yes. Yes, I did. We're going to watch that in a
God.
second. Very fucking bizarre. But no, it's not just that. There's more than just the Sam Harris clip. For me to think that,
Hey, folks,
because
I
once
wanna
you
do
go
a
through
show.
like a
We're
cycle
gonna
of
cover
slop,
one
well
topic.
then the old slop, well it's so far outside of the picture now that we can start to, I don't know, be kind of retarded about it again, bring it back a little bit more casually, because previously it really did feel like there was a moratorium on talking about COVID. And even after you actually could talk about it again, the moratorium became, well, we don't want to think about it because it was, in my opinion, it did traumatize people, the things that they went through. And I know it sounds like, oh no, you were forced to stay home. Yeah, a lack of human contact, constant fear mongering about this deadliness of this disease. That information was so heavily curated in the name of, we don't want misinformation anywhere. It was a very strange time, and a lot of the research that came out of that period has been illuminating. So, it's interesting though to think that maybe we can start to talk about COVID again. Maybe some of my old content I made on that might become relevant once more. Let's see. Trybeard5291 for another €5 says, Aiden, I can make shorts if you need any. Thank you, man. I'm talking to somebody right now. Amalgamite actually got me in touch with her shorts editor, and gonna check that out, see how that works out. But thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'll let you know if I need any more assistance for sure. Because the problem is I don't know what to do with it. I know like what is most important. I'm like, I can't cut out any of this information because it's all relevant, and so I figured, if I let somebody else do it, and they'll be able to see through it and go like, well, this is the part that's interesting from an outside perspective, whereas I'm too in my own head to be able to figure out essentially what is interesting in a video.
I can
So,
make
like-
ones where I just say a bunch of slurs.
Yeah, I mean that's profitable for sure. Just it might be.
Doing better
People
than my
would pay
plan to
money
decapitate
just to hear
myself.
me say wanker.
Build stop.
I just want an execution sword.
I know you just
418.
want the. I know you just want the executioner sword. You don't have to.
Is it the-
you don't have
is
to
it the
say
German one you want?
decapitate yourself.
I want a historical
Zweihander?
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the German one's it said something really based on it.
There's a,
Oh,
there's
I
a
remember
few.
that one. Yeah, yeah.
There's several.
one in particular.
There's like, there's like dozens of different variations on cast the name of God. You're not guilty.
Yeah, it was something. It was something about giving them eternal peace.
Yeah, yeah. What was that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I want to get the precise.
See if you
one,
can find it. I'll keep playing this clip here.
I know. I can
Pitting
find
our
it. I wrote it on my
uniformed
Pinterest.
military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
What is this like 1990s Jag episode music in the
Why
background?
does everyone's face look fucked up?
Because
they are.
one of the things that I cover in my new video is that computer models can detect. Again, we know like just a model looking at faces based on like independent rater coding to provide a base sample. Who is a Democrat or a Republican by looking at their face, symmetry and morphology, and consistently finds that like people who, particularly left-leaning women, are less attractive than right-leaning women in terms of politicians. So there's just
genital
some
lopsided. I
there's
say that
just-
as someone who's
yeah,
that myself.
this dysgenic stuff going on. Now I'm not, I'm no beauty queen or something, but it's there is because there's always outliers, right? But that tends to be the consistent trend there, right? Is that female politicians who are conservative or on the right are rated by machine networks and analysis to be more attractive, and you can
I
also
look
do
like
it
a
the
member
opposite
of
way
the Hitler
around.
Youth.
Yeah, and you can also do it the
That's
other way
'cause you are.
around, where a computer can look at politicians' faces and tell you that whether guess with considerable accuracy above
Found it.
random chance if a person is left or right leaning.
When I raise this sword, so I wish that this poor sinner will receive eternal life.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
that's
based.
based.
Yeah.
That's based.
And the other one is
Right
when I
now,
lift up my sword,
threats-
God give the poor sinner eternity. That's pretty basic.
Oh, that's based too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And of course, the classic of cast in the name of God. You're not guilty.
Oof.
Big O fans, remember that one?
It does go pretty hard.
It does go hard.
To our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can
What is an illegal order?
This.
Yeah, basically that
refuse
face, yeah.
illegal orders.
Yeah.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time
Yes,
to be a
because
public
it's
servant.
extremely it's
Well, yeah,
very
what the
much up for
you're asking-
interpretation.
You are asking soldiers to not follow orders, which
Yeah.
is gonna get them in huge trouble and court-martialed, I would imagine.
Also,
And
as
the
far
curious
as I'm
thing is, again,
aware,
what is an illegal order? We're going to
is-
look into
is
that because
the,
they don't
So-
know either.
When I
Is
see
the chief-
Glowies talking and I see these big block capitals coming up on screen like it's a fucking Manchurian
TikTok?
candidate fucking trigger,
Yeah.
yeah.
makes me fucking nervous.
Also, I'm under the impression that the chief executive is the head of the army.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so
So Trump.
how the hell, by what rule or role in the hierarchy do any of these people think they have the authority to defy the chief executive?
Yeah, I know.
I don't
But
Did
it's
you know
just-
that the CIA has had a patent for changing brainwave signals
reality-
via
this is so
monitors since
cra-
2001?
This is so cringe and gay. Who's going to listen to this? Anyone who's in the military surely knows that they can't. Worst of all, what are they going to do? This is.
Those of you in the chat who were at Langley, and I know there's at least one of you, please chime in.
I mean, it's just absolutely insane as to what. I'm not even sure entirely what is the impetus behind this. But they put out this fucking video.
American citizens.
I don't know if it's about ICE or what exactly it is, or if it's about the Epstein shit. It seems to be
It's
just
so
a general
generic.
Yes.
that it makes me think that if you broke this down frame by frame and dug into the meat of what's there, like you'd find something.
I mean, I think it's about stopping the attacks, on the vessels carrying fentanyl, the drug boats. I think that's what it's about. But it's actually kind of difficult to tell what it is they are saying that you need to refuse. And what's going to make it more confusing is that when they have gone and tried to explain now what they meant by this, they've not done a very good job. So yeah, it seems very generic. Just do a little treason.
That's
do a
what I'm
little
saying.
sedition,
If you dug through this video and you went frame by frame and you went and you dug into things that are backmasked or similar, I think you'd find a bunch of really fucking nefarious shit.
Yes. Mighty Biscuit for 10 says the left wants to destroy beauty because it reminds them of their own ugliness. It has nothing to do with Nazis because the Soviets idolized beauty too. Every civilization has idealized beauty. And they do as well. Why do you think... this is so simple. Why is it... Hey, Commie Mark. Any statement on the monarchy hiding away their caught pedophile? Dude, I'm so disgusted by that shit. I mean, I think you know my opinion on that, Mark. I don't
really think that has anything to do with the monarchy. That's more just power in general.
It is. It does inherently have to do with the monarchy because they're complicit in it.
I think part of it's a smokescreen because Prince Andrew was played about with a 17-year-old, which at the time was legal, like it or not. It's been changed now to be 18 because of the Muslims, but it was 16 at the time. Conversely, King Charles was really pally with Jimmy Savile.
Yes, he was.
I think this is, let's throw the spare.
Oh, they're all like it's the same. It's the same thing with this Epstein files shit and the very bizarre responses just surrounding it in general. These people, I mean, all of them, the political class, so many of them are complicit or are actively involved in this shit.
Why do you think I want the executioner sword so much?
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone. That's the thing too. It's everybody knows what everyone has identical feelings about pedophiles, unless they are one themselves.
Wood chipper feet first.
Wood chipper feet first under the jail. I mean, because of course that's why though, and I think also there's some aspect of it which is like initiation rituals into the elite status, which is that, or at least having dirt on people, so that at any point you wouldn't want that to come out now, would you? And the Epstein files and the involvement with Epstein is clearly at the heart of a lot of that. That why is it that all of these people were constantly texting and talking and writing to and sending emails and in communique with fucking Jeffrey Epstein? Why were they still soliciting him for donations as Hakeem Jeffries did 3 years after it was exposed that he was a child trafficking sexual predator, pedophile?
I would be curious to see if there were any emails sent after he was.
Why was anyone? Well, actually, we're going to get into something related to that as it relates to Jasmine Crockett.
Blackmail, apparently.
I mean, obviously my opinion on all of them is that
bitch?
Yeah, she has been saying some stupid stuff, but
what else is
I don't trust any of the Republicans on this either, for obvious reasons. Well, I think they're also complicit, which is just
they all had to walk past Comet Ping Pong to get to work.
They sure did, and it's just
the party of no kings is
disgusting.
Now encouraging a military coup. Okay, no, they're not encouraging a military coup. They're just telling them to abstain.
They're telling them to engage in sedition, though, which I don't know.
And regardless of what they're meant to be implying here, I think that this video is so actively nefarious looking that there's something else to it.
Again, the JAG music's not helping. The JAG music is not helping.
Why would you have a video set up like this that really does look like it's intended for children, almost, and in the way it's like it's just talking directly to the camera and telling you precisely what to do?
It's very bizarre. Yeah, why would you release this? I don't know. Like I said, I think the Democrats are really scrambling to find what the hell it is that they're supposed to be doing right now. And I want to bring up something because I had this thought the other day, and it's very true. If we're talking about political cycling, well, right now the right is winning, right? We're on top of everything. Everything's supposed to be great. Tell me this: what appreciable is better? I mean, in terms of not talking about the woke going away, not talking about things that actually don't really matter. What is better in your personal life today? And this is not me saying let's return to Democrats, but I mean, it's more about reality checking. What is better today than it was significantly under Biden?
Weather.
The weather?
Oh, wait, they're not related. I am currently very warm.
Well, that's Spoons. It's quite hot in South Africa because different
It's
hemisphere.
always fucking hot in
I'm-
South Africa.
I am currently tan. It's very strange. It's the darkest I've been in like 10 years.
Yeah, he sent picture
Careful,
of
we're gonna
arm.
kick you-
I
we're gonna
saw how
have to
tan
kick
he
you off
is.
the podcast if it gets any darker than that.
He's getting a little bit too brown for this show.
Too much melanin.
It's-
fuck
I could
off.
cross the border right now and say I'm a foreigner. I just have to speak a really weird accent. which is
Maybe
doable.
mental health might have gotten better. A little bit fewer illegals, a little bit more deportations, but a lot of stuff. I think I don't know.
I can just imagine Border Patrol in South Africa when all they hear is "top of the morning to you," and they'd open fire. I guarantee you, they would open fucking fire.
You know, I'd say probably some of my mental health is a little better, but then yeah, I don't know, because it is a
Ben Shapiro is
some-
losing his mind in subscribers. That's a good thing.
I know it's great, but that's because the political pressure valve has been released a little bit, right?
Have you
That's
seen
why the
this
mental health
video?
stuff
get
gets
to
better.
count. You don't get to count influencer downfalls. They have a natural shelf life.
Right. Oh, but my point actually, going back to the beauty thing, why do you think they've pushed Hassan so much? And why? And you see this all the time. All of the people who prop him up, like Taylor Lorenz being the example. Oh my God, Hassan is so hot. He would be famous no matter what he was doing. Yeah, that guy is famous because he's good looking to women and gays. I mean, I don't get it personally.
I'm going to assume mainly
he
homosexuals
makes
are
me
the GQ
sick
articles and
to look at his tiny little head. But yeah, it's like this is the hottest guy we've got. So let's plaster him everywhere. That's why.
To be fair, they
A
don't
bloke who looks
really
like
have a
he
lot to pick
sells
from.
secondhand cars.
That's my point. They don't have a big pool to draw from.
Spoon is
Carry out
brown
orders
now.
that
Yes,
violate
yes, I
the
am.
law.
Spoon is
Or
betrayed
brown,
the white
let's-
race.
Black in head.
I'm joking.
And also, no, I'm not on some kind of sedative. My throat is just kind of sore.
His throat's
So
sore.
This
Yeah.
this is what I normally sound like.
He
This
does
is-
sound like this normally, not on air
Yes.
though. To be fair, so it is just
yes.
like it's unusual though when we start start a stream call on you not to be on the more
Jumpy
streamy
side.
voice. Yeah,
Yes.
rather than your your more normal voice.
Good afternoon,
look, it's-
everyone. I am here to tell you all about the great weather.
It's a peek
and
behind
how
the
you
curtain.
can
Here,
invade
this
another
is
country and massacre everyone who once lived there.
lovely. This is normal voice Spoon. Here it is. Ooh,
I can't
you're
get back
gonna
to
get a
normal
Broken
voice
Crown
without warm-up.
exclusive. Anyway, let's keep back to
Anyway,
this.
yes.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army, or Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is
Why was the
critical.
CIA first?
know that we have your back.
Because
Why
now,
does the
more
music
than
sound
ever,
like something
The
you hear
American-
from like Skyrim or
It's like Jag music.
Jag. It's
Yeah.
Jag.
Yeah.
People need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up
this
the
is
ship.
so.
When you get repetition
It's
like
so
that,
gay. So what did they mean by this? Right?
some kind of psyop glowy fuckery like they always do.
What did they mean
yeah,
by
it's,
this?
it's NPR. That's true.
No, yeah, it's
It is,
true.
it is NPR.
Rep Bartholomew Cheesington for 2 says, I guess General Bubba did more than go on a diet. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, that was so that's
Oh
been
shit!
the
Half-Life 3 trailer just dropped.
oh shit. What?
Half-Life 3 just dropped. Apparently,
You're kidding
Get
me.
the fuck out. I know. I'm curious. I have. To
This
go
is
look
what's
at
going to
it.
be on the Gabe Cube.
Oh, those bastards now. Valve's just fucking with us. Never mind.
Oh, of course they are. There's
God damn you,
I won't
Bill.
be Gabed again, dude. I'm so. Gay Ben. When's
When did
Half-Life
Half-Life
3?
come out?
Like
Finish it before you die of fat.
4?
He's he's no longer fat. He now has too much power. But yeah, that was just a rickroll. Thanks, my Irish friend Dom, for rinsing me like that on stream. But there we go. Better I get hit than everyone else.
It was a
Curb
false,
your
it was a-
enthusiasm. This is
yeah.
a false flag. A second
False
rickroll
flag.
has hit the towers. I'm going to set myself on fire.
We will be talking, of course, about Bubba later because that was one of the big things that came out, of course, in the Epstein files, or the bits of it that they've released is
Oh, okay.
or
now I
the
get
little bit of
reference.
the emails, of course, which is that Trump potentially sucked off Bill Clinton. I
I'm
mean,
just gonna let that one out there. Just let it.
$20
sink in.
is $20.
that is the implication. That is the implication that the news media has been running with, and I have to say, look, I'll just say it now.
Well,
If that is what it is,
he didn't arrest Hillary Clinton.
if that is it, if that's why, and that is why Trump didn't want them to come out. Now, I think it's just the Bubba thing is like a narrative they're spinning. They've gone through these messages and are going, well, how can we try and I mean the Republicans as well. This would be in their benefit, because my immediate reaction to that was, I would rather Donald Trump have given a beach to Bubba Bill Clinton than be a pedophile. Right? You know what I mean?
Well,
out of those two options, one of them, I mean, it's still disgusting, but
being a pedophile.
Yeah, I guess, like, to me, I would be like, well, I'm still disgusted, but I'd rather he be gay.
A rampaging sexual degenerate.
Dude, I'm so tired of it.
People be like, oh, he's not a pedophile, he's a homosexual. I'm here like, there's a difference.
I know. Flan the Man 231 for 2 says gabed again. I know, gabed again indeed. I won't get. I keep saying I won't get gabed again.
Do you really feel like we deserve this at this time in our lives? We're in the middle of a massive depression, physically and spiritually,
yeah,
and financially.
Oof. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked. Like, do you feel like you're winning, son? Again, maybe with the mental health, a little bit of political temperature has been, but has it been? Because Charlie Kirk just got assassinated.
There'll be more before it's through. I
don't know. I look. If the statistics that I looked at and the modeling that I did is accurate, I think you're going to see an increase in domestic violence or domestic terrorism violence from the left.
That too.
And I'm serious about that. And I say that as not as fear mongering, but I think that's going to get worse before it gets better. I hope to God that is incorrect. And I hope that this gets swept up quickly enough and their violent proclivities get put away quickly enough. But at the current state of things, given the thing, like, one of, the most interesting findings, just that I thought, was that the far left tanky subreddits are 47.5 times, use 47.5 times more, like, violent, aggressive speech than the rest of Reddit. And that's Reddit. That's just such a, and that, words are not actions. But then there's also statistical evidence that shows that these people tend to plan more violence, but aren't capable of enacting it. And that's the silver lining, is it might not go up. It might not go up because of an incompetence thing. It might not go up because they pull funding out of supporting these people, or, I don't know, leaving guns with them. Just, somehow they ended up with this gun. But I'm not sure exactly. I can't, scry the future on this. But if the current trends do not change, I think there will be an increase during Trump's second term. Lancer5 says, a fun weight pull update, 38 inches of powder was just dropped onto Arizona Snow Bowl. This year I'm going to enjoy a healthy amount of the whitest sport. Hell yeah, man. I like, Snow Bowl. I didn't know that AZ, Arizona? I didn't know it was snowed in there, to the AZ Snow Bowl. Well,
was it just
a reference for Coke?
Or is this Coke? Yeah, now I don't know. That's what my 38 inches of powder. Is this cocaine? Is this snow? I hate that I don't know the answer.
38 inches is a shitload.
Good God. Like, the absolute state of things where I'm like, are you talking about snow or cocaine?
Cocaine, yeah. That's a lot of cocaine.
I don't know. That would be a lot of cocaine. So, here is... Oh,
like the final
1 sec.
Scene of Scarface.
I have a request real quick.
Hunter flew over Arizona.
I feel like someone base could remake Scarface right now. It would be, they could make something really fucking wild out of it.
Yeah. So here is, what do they mean by illegal orders?
What law are you talking about that's being broken? And then you said that he's implying that he might do something that they wouldn't want to uphold or follow through with in the future. What are you talking about?
So this is my problem, right? It's like, what the fuck what is the point of this message? I don't know what it's. I think it's about the drug boats.
Frame.
It is. I think it's about the drug boats, but it is a little bit different to tell. It's difficult to tell because it is like,
I don't even know.
Well, what if
currently on TV?
If Trump does something in the future, it sounds like they're trying to preempt it. Like, we're letting you in on a secret. Trump's gonna ask you to do something illegal. it's a very strange, very strange video to release. So yeah, what do you mean by that?
Specifically.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Well, number one, the protests at Lafayette Square in the first Trump administration where he said, can't you just shoot them? Can't you just shoot them in the legs or something? That's a direct quote. And of course, the then chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff
That was not a
pushed back on
military order. That was a comment.
It was a joke.
When that's coming from the president of the United States to your generals, don't you think that's a request? That's
I'm
a question?
asking.
No, for fuck's sake, you lunatic. It's a joke. It's Trump.
Also,
can't you just shoot him in the knees or something? And then, you know, I mean, like, I remember that too when they published that in that insider book that he was going to do that.
The irony is if you did that now, it would work. Instead of this gay prosecution crap, how would you say, if you come and violate us, we will just kill you?
Well, why
People
not?
will stop doing
I mean,
it. There's actual
the
consequences,
absurdity,
like dying.
Like we played that one clip of iDubbbz last week, but in general, it is so bizarre to me to see the leftoids come together and have to. Well, iDubbbz is a particular case because he's actually brain damaged, but be like, no, fentanyl drug boats are good actually. Fentanyl, it's not poison, it's just a fun drug. Now, I also think obviously the Republicans use things like drug crime to their own benefit as well, in order to fearmonger, for sure. But it is a massive fucking issue. Fentanyl is extremely deadly and dangerous. You don't want it coming into the country, no. I mean, in a properly functioning country, there shouldn't be any question about, blow up boats carrying dangerous
America
narcotics.
has enough dangerous things that can kill you.
Exactly. You don't need any more. Just because what kind of bizarre fallacy is that? Whoa, there's already tons of drugs in the country, so let's bring in more dangerous ones, uninhibited, unmitigated. Then why even have laws in the first place?
I was talking about something else entirely.
I'm aware of news as well. But look, there's all kinds of dangerous shit in this country. Why would it? It's so bizarre. I mean, I don't. That's why I'm saying.
Explain to them what they are in the chat earlier. It started with an N.
Yes, we did get a little start to that. The thing is, like I said, they need to restructure.
China. Oh yeah.
And Politicrat, who will be on with us not next week but the week after. I've not read his piece yet; it's not been published yet. But I think it's published the day that he'll be on with us, or right around then. He's going to go through because he's noticed the same thing, which is that they seem to be aimless. They haven't figured out how to reorient themselves right now, and so you're finding all kinds of very bizarre messaging. Yeah, like, well, protect the fentanyl dealers, obviously. Which is just, I mean, like, what are you doing?
Specifically, number two, what you're talking about.
Yeah, number two, he's also threatened to send the military into Chicago and other cities to, quote, go to war with those cities. Right? That is a very, very disturbing thing. Number three, he's also alluded to sending troops to polling stations, which is actually a violation of U.S. law. U.S. criminal law prohibits troops from going to polling stations, and he's alluded to that. So those are just many examples.
You're talking about
Donald Trump
illusions. You're not talking about.
Yeah, thank you. Did he do that? Did he make an allusion to it? And what was the allusion? What was the quote? Was it a fight like hell kind of quote? Was it a we're gonna go to the Capitol cut, and we're gonna let our voices be known, don't do anything violent? They cut out that part? I mean, what is it? Trump's about to sue the BBC for an exorbitant amount of money over that, by the way.
He won't win.
He won't. Oh, no, that has been confirmed as far as I know. That is going forward.
Good luck with that.
I agree. Good luck with it, but I didn't put that story in because it seemed like I was repeating myself, or like because we already covered it. But it does. That was my thought last week, or whenever they announced it. Spoon was like that's gonna actually fucking happen. They're just spitballing. They're just throwing this shit out there. So I'm again. I agree with. I know where you're coming from because that was my thought as well. Is like fuck. He's gonna actually sue the BBC, but maybe he will. We'll see what happens.
Actual policy. You're not talking about things that are members of our service members who we revere and respect are actually being asked to do. So when you see this video on all over the place, when you see this video on social media, I think a lot of people scratch their heads and they say, what exactly are they talking about? Are they talking about
Martha,
not allowing gunboats to make it to the United States carrying drugs?
No.
Then what are you talking about, you lunatic? Oh my god.
This is your opportunity to elucidate.
There you go. What is it? Well, Yeah, but that is the question. What did you mean by this?
Is
Martha.
that what you're talking about?
Martha, here's a novel idea. How about we actually prevent things from happening before they become a problem?
I think that's what they're
Right?
trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do, you stupid fuck.
I mean, you understand
Why did you
my
just say that?
my just abject confusion, and hers as well. Just be like, what? Can you answer the? Why don't you stop it before it starts? By blowing up the boats before they get to shore sounds like it's solving the problem before it gets there to me. What the fuck? What do you mean? You want to go do a coup in the countries that they're coming from? I mean, you apparently want to do a coup in the United States. But what?
Until there's a problem.
Yeah, I know that y'all in DC never saw a good foreign war you didn't want to start. But is that what you're asking for?
To respond to that problem.
No, I'm not.
Right? As a military officer, what I think is important is we train people, we give them information, we prepare people for challenges coming down the pike. That is what I did as a commander in the military.
What's that to do with shit?
What
is an illegal order? What is an illegal order? What are you saying? What do you want?
This is waffle and
I know.
Yes.
So the answer is there's no answer. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing now, is we are standing by our troops. We are
What
reminding them of their
specific order
obligation.
from the commander-in-chief
that
we are
wanna
asking
wait.
our military to carry out are you objecting to? This is very, very
Martha.
vague. And it was so vague in this video, I don't think people could figure out what you guys were all talking about, honestly.
Martha, Donald.
They were clearly talking about something, or they had like a united message, but they can't tell you what it is, which means this is a bunch of waffle, yeah.
Trump has made a series of very disturbing comments.
Such as?
Bizarre. I don't know. Absolutely bizarre, though. So is this some better information on this? The only instruction plainly directly without question. It's a general called rebellion from the CIA, the armed services. This is Stephen Miller's take on it, though. I don't really care, but that's just his take. I happen to see it there. I don't know what it is. I think it's just. I think they're just trying to rattle their saber a little bit, but I don't think it was very effective. It just confused people. They're sending a message to, I guess, the people who they think are going to hear it and be activated, but...
Yeah, it's the animation principle.
Basically. The other thing that they're asking for, in addition to don't follow orders, is more money. So Zoran Mamdani has won his election, and the first thing he fucking does, a socialist who says he's going to give you free transportation, free everything. New York will become a socialist paradise. First thing he does, money please. Money me. Me, money now. Money me needing a lot now.
It's been 2 weeks since we won the election. We've been pretty busy.
Rejects the Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani.
Too often, this is a time of just celebration as opposed to preparation. We want to make it both.
A lot of these things are new, but one of them is pretty old, fundraising. But why are we fundraising? Well, we have less than 50 days until we take office, and we have a lot to do. We have to vet the 50,000 resumes we've received. Thank you. We have to keep paying our incredible team. Thank you. And we have to plan not just our inauguration, but our policy implementation. Now, unlike...
Why would you bother with an inaugural?
Do not...
You're a fucking mayor. Why do you...
I know, it's... Well, I mean, Mayor of New York is, I guess, a big deal, but, like, it is.
No, it's not.
This guy...
It really isn't.
This guy is so fake. He's so... I do feel... It's just... This is the fakest ass shit. This dude is such a grifter. I don't think he has any fucking principles. That seems to be demonstrably
give us money
true.
so I can pay all my friends.
Yeah.
Some of whom I will be related to, inevitably.
Well, I mean, like, it's also, like, what is the first thing he does? Just to illustrate that Hassan's time, for example, in the spotlight is going on. He doesn't invite him to his big party. It's parties and it's like, quintessential champagne socialism. Not sensible center left in the AA sense, right?
Get public matching funds from the city. So that 8-to-1 match, gone. It's up to us to raise the money. Usually campaigns take that as an opportunity to rely on wealthy donors, but that's not us. You've already been incredible. We've raised more than $1 million in just 2 weeks. Our average donation is around $77, and more than 12,000 of you have donated so far, which is much lower than the last administration's transition. But we're still asking for your help because we need to raise $4 million in total, so January 1st can be the day we start to deliver.
I mean, you get the idea, right? Money me.
$4 million for inauguration, basic HR processing.
Yeah.
And paying staffers, which really should have already been covered.
Yeah. Tribeard5291 for 10 euros says, hey, thank you again, man. Says, after Gabe leaves Valve, you reckon all their IPs will start being sold off? Like, will someone buy Half-Life and make Half-Life 3?
Pretty notorious for being a piece of shit.
I have heard that as well. Or reboot the franchise. We'll have to see. Valve and Steam are such a unique situation because you have people who have been there for such a long time who, if nothing else, I don't know any, and this is a good thing, I don't know anything about Gabe Newell, about his politics, right? Thank God. I am so glad that I don't know anything about, although the fact that I don't know anything about Gabe Newell's politics probably tells you his politics. To be honest, you know what I mean? Gabe makes money.
Silence is golden.
He has made a shit ton of money for that company, and without Gabe, I don't know. Even the fact that Valve doesn't make games anymore. I mean, Dota 2, I know they make a couple games. Dota 2's been over a decade.
I do question why a super yacht equipped for marine biology work needs 12 gaming PCs.
Yeah, yes, true. But that is a good thing about Valve, and it'll be interesting to not maybe in a good way. But we'll see about if his son inherits that role and what happens there. Flannerman231 for 5 says, Northern Arizona is a high pine forest and gets a good amount of snow. Oh, does it? The valley is the hot box. I feel like I did know that, but when you think, I guess when I think Arizona, I think the valley, I think of the desert, you know. Mushoff for 5 euros says, y'all forget that Iran-Contra affair, and now the CIA refinance itself. No wonder they are freaking out. Yeah, perhaps that's it. Yeah. Never mind, that makes a lot of sense there. If it's that kind of thing. Yep. So, this is their, I don't know, current insurrection thing, I guess. Sedition stuff, also pay me. However, again, what I found has come back into the narrative is the COVID stuff. And it's not just, if it was again, oh god, I just have to deal with the trigonometry eyes. Okay. Anyway, Sam Harris was on with, Constantine and the other one whose name I always forget, to talk about how Joe Rogan was the problem with COVID. All the COVID nonsense.
And so we've ended up in a very conspiratorial world, partly, I think, because of what happened during COVID. And by the way, if you lock people in their homes for 2 years, some of them are going to loopy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. God, there's some fucking physiognomy at work here.
Oh, it's two Jews and their pet. Okay. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
That our public health authorities couldn't effectively shoulder was that they were messaging into a polluted information landscape that was poised to be this conspiratorial and this distrustful of authority.
It was just because people had been poisoned to already not trust the government. That's why they didn't trust the government during COVID, when governments all over the world did nonsensical shit, constantly counter-signaled with orders.
Eyebrow?
I don't know, with orders that made no sense. Like, wear these fucking paper masks or cloth masks, trust us, they'll work, even though weird how you can see your vape smoke through that. Not like that's an official test, but it means that was something that ordinary people could look at and go, wait, what?
Also,
wait a minute, I can breathe through the mask. I can see smoke through the mask.
Dumbass, you do realize we have evidence now, and you do realize people were very much correct to be skeptical because it was all bullshit.
It was all bullshit. I mean, like, how curious,
was
for example,
pulled out of their ass.
That didn't work. How about the fact that, isn't it curious that there were zero or almost no flu deaths during the years of peak COVID? But there were all the deaths that would normally be attributed to the flu, to be fair, a particularly bad flu season, were then ascribed to COVID.
Most of the fucking traffic
endless number of things
got ascribed to COVID because you got money if you did.
All the people who if they just happen to test positive, I mean, and there's no way you could just go get someone to cough on it or just fudge those records because you got fucking paid for a death to be attributed to COVID.
Meanwhile,
even if the person
they
got
were
hit by a
shipping
car.
around relief doctors who were very often infected themselves. This is what happened over here.
And then
they brought in a doctor who had COVID and spread it around all the wards.
And let's just talk about the fact that it was one of the biggest wealth transfers that has ever occurred in the history in history. It was one of the greatest wealth transfers. Massive amounts of money to Big Pharma. massive amounts of money to the people who have investment in big pharma. And curiously, it seems like it, and you look at my Didier Werewolf video and some of the stuff that led up to COVID, it seems like a lot of people were poised and had been preparing, look at stuff that the WHO had said, for just such a pandemic event to occur. And either very early on or even before the pandemic had started investing in this stuff. Huge, huge wealth transfer. It's disgusting what happened. And they so psychologically broke people that they don't even want to think about it anymore. That's the most insidious part to me, because that stuff was so psychologically traumatizing. I know it's like, oh, you were just forced to stay home. Yeah, away from social interaction. We're a social species. People need to, like, be in physical space with other people and not live under these nonsensical, arbitrary rules that change day by day. And then go take a drug that's not been tested correctly, because it just cannot be.
Isolate are more vulnerable to those around them.
Yes.
We had upticks in every major household.
Every mental health disorder went up, or at least in terms of like the most common ones, anxiety and depression, massively skyrocketed. You have look, I am.
And if you happen to live in an abusive household, you need to find some outlet from that. Good luck, because you weren't getting out.
Again, I bring up the one study that showed that children who were born during the pandemic, in early tests of very, very like toddler and infant. You can't really do neonate, but still, very young children's IQ, children who were born during the pandemic had a 30 IQ deficit. Now, that's elastic, so it could ameliorate itself. And I haven't checked into it, but I remember that was the report from about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. It was a 38-point IQ deficit, meaning the average IQ for children born during the pandemic was not 100, it was 70.
So it dropped from normality to retardation.
Yeah.
Like clinically retarded.
No, again, I think there's a huge amount, particularly young children, IQ is incredibly elastic. It's not going to stay that low. But I think we really need to look at that cohort. We're talking about, in many ways, irreparable damage that's been done to people over this. And it's because people know, whether or not they can accept it, that irreparable damage was done, that they haven't wanted to talk about it. So it's fucking curious that now people are talking about it a little bit again. And it's about, hey, go after Joe Rogan. Curiously, all of a sudden you want some accountability or something for this? And you're going to put that on Joe Rogan's feet, Sam? Idiot. Just, not an idiot. It's a conniving scumbag.
And in large measure, independent media is culpable for that. I mean, it's the
independent media is responsible for the misinformation. The only people who were not telling lies. Yeah. Unbelievable, the audacity.
Chris Owens of the world and the Joes of the world who were calling bullshit where things were actually bullshit and calling bullshit on absolutely standard science.
Like what? Nothing about the COVID response was standard. Every single thing about it was aberrant. What the fuck was standard about that?
And I mean, the people who Joe had on his podcast again and again, Brett Weinstein and all the other.
Oh no!
Brett Weinstein conveniently all the people who disagree with him politically. Isn't that fucking fascinating?
Isn't that fascinating? Yeah. Ivermectin. We want to talk about a long-term tragedy. Is what has happened to hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, which are actually very important drugs. Now, ivermectin got it way harder than hydroxychloroquine, but again, I did that whole deep dive into the Didier Raoult stuff.
Because it's cheap and effective, that's why.
Yes, because it's cheap and effective. They're important medicines. They are necessary medicines. Ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine both. And as a result of this public, actual misinformation campaign, that was done by trying to turn ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine into, it's poison. It's poison. There's been huge amount of damage done to these drugs that are non-patented. They're too old. So they can be made, so generics can be made of them. We shouldn't use these very important WHO essential medicines because now you've put stink lines around them. That stuff's going to last for a long time because people don't think I remember hearing that ivermectin word. I remember hearing that hydroxychloroquine word around COVID and how it was a conspiracy theory. So I better not use that. I better be against the use of these important WHO essential drugs. Insane, dude.
That was genuinely harmful, right? It's not that they were wrong about everything.
What you did was wrong. it was harmful towards ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, useful medicines.
But they were wrong about most things.
Such as?
Such as what were they wrong about? What the fuck were they? Because they can never. We're the exact same thing we saw in the last little bit, right? What they were wrong. In what sense?
See, this is the kind of shit that's so vague and dumb.
Yes.
It makes people go, okay, either you are extremely disingenuous or unbelievably stupid. It's one or the other. And I think Sam is generally deranged.
Quetzal Pacheos for 50 pesos says, just imagine if the Kaiser impeached the funny mustache man's election. He had absolute power. He could have saved everyone a pain in the derriere. The Kaiser did not have absolute power. I mean, he did in theory, but popularity, and there were other issues, of course, that were going on with Germany at the time. The Treaty of Versailles, for instance, that did not instill the populace with faith in the Kaiser. Or in any institutions in Germany, or the Republic, right? So that had been shut the fuck down, and then there was no faith in the existing institutions, and they had been humiliated. So there wasn't, particularly after World War One, there was really nothing. I mean, there was nothing. There was a power vacuum in Germany that would be filled inherently, right? Base Hillbilly for 2 says Arizona. Arizona has mountains. Snowed here today. I know. It's just my thought about Arizona. My main thought about Arizona is Arizona iced tea, which is worse. But it's not the Kaiser's fault. It's not the Kaiser's fault. But maybe a little bit. It's is it the Kaiser's fault? Maybe. All right. What are next? What do I have here? Oh, this was about the other COVID thing, yeah. Oh, piss off with this. Oh, how do I get rid of this thingy? I don't know why it does this to me. Is this why? It's because I'm in my VPN, maybe. Because I'm a member of Western Journal, and it still does this. You said I'm not using an ad block. Oh, it's because I'm on Chrome, and I can't turn it off on Chrome. 1 second. How do I... that's not
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please bear with us a moment.
Nope.
Send Phil money so he can get an executioner.
Where's the stupid overlay? Oh my god, where's the fucking overlay? Well, I deleted the whole page. Okay, I don't know what to do.
I should lend my voice to
it was Western Journal. It was Western Journal. It was out of compassion.
Okay, look, the God, it's so stupid I can't get around this stupid ad block because of Chrome. Anyway, so Wayne Allen is apparently filing a $100 million lawsuit against Facebook, Google, and Stanford University for COVID censorship and gross civil rights violations. We'll see how that goes. Thank you, Western Journal. I'm not going to use you ever fucking again. I'm so tired of this shit. The fact that I can't look at the fucking website.
You're not logged
and I don't understand it. It doesn't matter. It's fucking Google Chrome. I just log in. Actually, let's see. If it doesn't
Getting that guide by a website.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. $100 million lawsuit targets Stanford, its board of trustees, and numerous major social media platforms, alleging coordinated censorship, serious violations of civil rights. In his late October announcement, the lawsuit, Root said he began raising early concerns about vaccine rollout and sharing data that he believed to warrant public discussion. Look, I'm not really that interested because I don't think this is going to fucking go anywhere. But I do find it interesting when there's an uptick in certain kinds of stories. And it seems like maybe because we've put woke away, or woke is being put away. I'm using Chrome because I'm using Brave to run the stream.
Oh, there we go.
So I use Chrome to just show the articles because it appears to be more stable for live streaming, whereas Brave tends to break. And instead, I'm using Brave to run the back end and Chrome to run the front end. Yeah, but when I share the screen on Brave, it tends to crash. It's been much better going back to Chrome. Chrome is more stable for showing on screen. Brave is better for running the back end. That's been the workout I found here. So, in other news of woke being put away, I think this is an excellent, if not like the perfect example of it. So here we go. Robbie Starbuck back here. He's taking credit for this. He goes, he's exposing. When was this? In September of last year. So over a year ago, he exposed how Toyota had gone woke Here's some of what they found. Toyota sponsored a drag queen program at summer camp for kids identifying as LGBTQ. Toyota opposes laws that ban sex changes for kids and funds groups that work to make sex changes legal for children they worked with. The HRC opposes these laws, Human Rights Council. Toyota openly supports the Equality Act, which would allow men into girls' bathrooms, sports and locker rooms. Toyota funded the HRC's Time to Thrive Summit, where they worked with the largest teachers union and pushed gender ideology into elementary schools. Donated to the HRC, the Trevor Project, Dallas Resource Center. You get it. Toyota donated to woke stuff, did woke stuff, DEI, hiring policies, woke LGBT crap. Well, here is the new CEO, or I guess the chairman, not CEO, chairman, Koyo Toyota, of Toyota. Seems a bit put away to me, would you say? Like, how can you not look at this and not
cringe
and understand what we're saying when we say things like woke is being put away? You know?
That should tell you that it was never real. It was just a phase.
Yes, exactly. It was never real. It was all fake. It was fake and gay, and it was political theater.
We don't support them endorsing politics. Unless they endorse my politics, in which case they're A-okay. It's pretty much how it works.
Yes. I do use Brave. I just use Chrome for the it just must have logged me out or whatever. Well, what the problem was. But that was what the problem was. Too many was. All right, another example of the woke being put away. Joy Reid.
Is she saying
Joy Reid's putting the woke away. No, I mean, I guess it is sane by definition, but this is so. I'm gonna provide you with more evidence, Your Honor, to illustrate that the woke has been put away. Again, doesn't mean it can't be brought back out at any point. Doesn't mean all of the underlying things that were changed, all of the laws, legal statutes, all of the nonsense, that goes away. As a political tool, currently in the Gestalt, it's being put away.
Would be disturbed. I'm telling you, I would be alarmed. I'm alarmed enough when I see a woman with her dangling boobies. Yeah. If I saw a penis in the ladies' locker room, I would freak out too.
What? After 10 years of this shit. After a fucking decade of this nonsense, of the tranny delusion, you're gonna have Joy Reid come out and say, well, yes, I also would be freaked out if I saw a penis in the women's locker room.
Oh yeah, it's because it's not meant to be there. No shit.
Well, no shit. But she wouldn't. If a conservative pundit said this 5 years ago, Joy Reid would have had a segment on her fucking show about how unbelievably transphobic such a statement was. I'm just showing you how the political cycle functions. This stuff is out in terms of its popularity. And it's enforced popularity. Understand that. It is pushed, becomes a useful tool because it is pushed, and then when it's no longer and has outstayed its usefulness, it is just put away like this.
This is nothing against trans anybody. What it's saying is, if I turn around and I see a penis in front of me inside of the room, yeah, I would probably go to management and say, "Wait a minute, why is there something?"
Oh, and you're gonna report them to management like a Karen? This is something that would have been on CNN or MSNBC, Joy, that you would have covered if a conservative pundit said this stuff. Just not even maybe 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, for fuck's sake.
That no one is going to take away from this, that they really should, is that these people do not have any fucking principle on any level whatsoever. They are literally just a bunch of bullshit lemmings that follow power, which means if you give them orders, they will do as you tell them to because they don't have any minds to begin with.
Yes, and that is what this is indicative of. The narrative has shifted. She doesn't have any genuine opinions on this. No, I mean, this might be her genuine opinion. I think it's more likely to be her genuine opinion, which is I don't want to see a penis in the women's locker room. But just so perfectly emblematic of the following of power.
Be a naked man in this room, because just the world we live in, just from a safety standpoint, and just from
no shit.
These are all insane, but these were all
like classic conservative
hardline conservative talking points. Women's safety. What the fuck? I mean, and again, we know why. It's startling because of how, because it's Joy Reid. But no, it's just that this is just how the political cycle works.
You know, from a privacy standpoint, I can see why she would have gone and reported to management.
And yet you people didn't, you castigated, disparaged, and tried to destroy the life of people like Riley Gaines for not wanting to do exactly this. Be in a locker room and compete in a sport with a man. With a penis.
There's a man naked in the band. Now, if they clarified and they said, well, trans, okay, but I think they should take her concerns also seriously. Because if she's uncomfortable, does she not have the right to be?
You would have said that 6 months ago, you would have said that woman has no right to be offended, because why would she be offended by another woman's body? And it was Riley Gaines who posted this, which is why I was thinking, it's like, yeah, like, imagine being Riley Gaines and seeing Joy Reid say this kind of shit now. It's got to be insane. You have to feel like, I imagine she feels like she's taking crazy pills, you know?
Speaking of that, a couple of days ago, I was in a Discord, and people were discussing like hormone treatment and the levels of suicide and, you know, studies and this kind of shit. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't mean to be funny here, but if I hear anyone discuss the studies or the validity of using studies when it comes to using any medical treatment on people who think they're the opposite sex, I feel like if this discussion in any way involves studies and your immediate gut reaction isn't, you are all fucking insane, eugenics immediately.
Yeah. It was this absurd
fucking retarded
mass delusion. Who was I talking to? When I was talking to people in my chat while I was doing the premiere the other day, on Discord, which you can join my Discord, my private Discord. I did premiere it on Broken Crown, but I try to alternate between premiering either on Broken Crown or on my my Patreon Discord.
It's your one, so do it on Patreon.
Yeah, I alternate because it depends on. I try to alternate because I'm trying to also do stuff because a lot of people who are on my Patreon are also on. And of course, if you're on my Patreon, you have an open invite. But anyway, to Broken Crown, and Broken Crown Discord is available. Anyway, point is, I brought this up the other day though, which was, did I just lose my train of thought before getting to what the point was here? Oh, about the trans stuff, which is that, yeah, the last study that I can remember seeing published that was a neurological analysis in the West. The Arabs have continued to do this. But out of the West, the last studies that I really saw that were about brain morphology, neurological reactivity to stimuli in people who identified as trans was from 2014. They just paused research on this stuff for over a decade while they pushed it into schools, into every discussion, into everybody's lives constantly, and most importantly, into the lives of children. And it was all just a distraction. It was all just some quite literally gay shit that affects a fraction of the percentage of the population. And they force us all to pretend to care about this dumb shit for 10 years.
This is why I basically don't ever discuss it on my
it's
channel.
tiresome.
Because it's just fucking stupid. Like, my immediate reaction is just, no. I think the example I used is, if I was a king and this ideology was in my civilization, I would use every ounce of state power to purge everyone responsible for it, because it prevents my civilization from reproducing, which is fucking abhorrent.
Yes. Well, do I have that? I wasn't going to share this, but since you said that, it's actually... That's, I will bring this up then, because you talked about stopping the civilization from reproducing.
Yeah,
I did see this. This was an interesting thread on Twitter. Is this it? Yeah. Look at this. So, look at the decline in population of young children under age 5 in major cities from 2005 to 2024. It's catastrophic. So, in Austin, Orlando, Raleigh, Charlotte, and Dallas, conservative areas, you see increases in the number of children. Chicago, Boston, New York, LA, San Francisco, left-wing areas, major decreases in the number of children who are under the age of 5. So young children, right? I mean, that's this is having an appreciable effect on people's reproduction. in these left-leaning areas. They are not reproducing. I know I'm not saying that this is all due inherently to the gender stuff. It certainly doesn't help, does it? At least I can't imagine so. There was another statistic here that was related to this. It's about the abortion rates. Yes, to the abortion rates, here it is. This is related. Well, sort of. I mean, it's along the same lines. These are abortion rates and statistics. This is a good thread as well. I don't necessarily mean to bring this up, but UK abortion rates are on pace to hit 50% of all pregnancies.
Jesus fucking Christ.
British abortion rates as a percentage of pregnancies are exploding in spite of recent innovations in contraception. That's the other thing, too. There's no excuse to need an abortion. I'm sorry. I mean, I get there's some reasons, again, and this is always the problem, but they are extreme exceptions wherein it's the mother's life is at risk, we're talking about the baby's dead. There are reasons why abortion is a necessary medical intervention, although they're already covered in all of this stuff, It's not something that's even being challenged, really. Major signal that something is deeply wrong with the economy. It's both. It is the economy to a certain extent, but it is more than that. It is more than that because guess what? And this is very telling. The migrants don't seem to have a problem with the economy to the point that it stops them from having children. Now, does it? Or do they?
That's because they're just suckling on the state's,
exactly.
The state's teat.
Yeah. But somehow they're able to make that work. I mean, they're getting free housing and stuff from the teat of the government. But this is demographic crash out. So abortion ratio per 100 births in 2018 is 27.6. So 26 out of 100 pregnancies end in abortion. 2024, it's 48, nearly half. For in terms of if there's for 100 births, there's 50 abortions.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And
this is unfathomable demographic collapse. Because who do you think's getting these abortions? Now, as I went over thoroughly in my SRB stuff, my Trivers Willard video, well, the Asians, and I saw a right nationalist tweet about this. The Asians get abortions, and they abort females. They don't abort males, though. If she gets pregnant with a male, I'm just saying statistically speaking, that male child will be born. I provided, there's no other interceding factors, stillbirth or loss of the baby or whatever may affect that. But so they are tactically aborting females. Whites are just aborting half of all their children in the UK. It's unfathomably fucked, There was an article about this. More people are talking about the SRB thing as well. I thought there was he had more information about this in this thread. Yes. Okay. You can see also, because he's been this guy, Philip Pilkington, he's been posting about this for a while.
In
how
in the US, it's black woman is actually quite high. Margaret Sanger would be happy.
The black abortion rate in the United States is insane. But yeah, it should be should be very disconcerting to anybody.
Less black children.
But the thing is that's probably mostly white children who are being aborted in the UK.
Yeah, but as far as the black woman are concerned,
what race is it? How do you support abortion? What race is it?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I go. I'm like, which group of people do I want less of, and which one do I want more of? Do
I think it's the browns or the white statistics? I think it's overwhelmingly the whites because I looked at it recently. But I've looked at these statistics recently, and it's blacks, Africans, they are probably doing a lot of aborting, but they make up a relatively smaller percentage of the UK population comparatively to Arabs and people from Muslim countries, and those people do engage in sex selective abortion, but sex selective, they only abort the females, typically speaking. But speaking of gay, cringe, and disgusting, Thomas Crooks, the guy who shot at Trump, has been revealed to be a they/them with an obsession with political violence, and he was also a furry fetishist, because of course he was. So Thomas Crooks used they/them. Now, they tried to distinguish this guy from being
I don't believe
a Trinitic or anything like that. I don't believe it either, by the way. I'm also skeptical of this. Thank you.
Because none of this was immediately available.
Unless it was covered up for some reason.
Yes. So the fact that it's all coming up now is very
But how did they not
convenient.
Like, how did they not find his DeviantArt account immediately?
Yeah, that's
why?
my
Yes,
point.
we're a year out and we're finding his DA. I don't know. It stinks to me as to why. Yeah, why are we allowed to see this shit? If this was always the case, it's a public DeviantArt account.
Yeah. It's just, it seems to.
Thank you, Spin. That's why you make me feel more sane, because it's like when I also think something stinks, you usually say so too, and it's like, oh, good.
Like, who doesn't like
same
muscle
page.
mommies? I mean, that's kind of a creepy fetish.
I mean, I don't get it. I gotta be honest, I don't get it. This one, the muscle mommy thing. But I guess like on the fetish scale, it's not too bad, I suppose. I guess.
But I guarantee, like, if you're attracted to
Well, you're
a
into
woman that's stronger
bodybuilding.
than you, yes, but I like the kind of women I find appealing athletically are not built brick shithouses.
Yeah.
They don't have thighs that could crush watermelons.
Yeah.
That's not a
Did I
turn
get
on for me. That's just fucking weird.
Did I get you Tribeard5291 with the €2 Q South Park mean Ika penis? I think I did. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Solon Lich for 100 ARS says the refusal to share personal space with the grape rainbow lunatics is a clear sign of fragility and toxic femininity. Why don't girls let fellow women swing it around over the locker room? I know, man. Again, when you even describe it, it is so absurd as prima facie. We all know this. We always have all known this. We had to play this dumb little game for a couple of years because it was within the political zeitgeist. And it was heavily pushed. It was very dumb. But yeah, this guy also, the guy who tried to shoot Trump in the very, the obviously, I think it'll have a place in long-term American history. The image of Trump being shot in the air. It's very, very difficult to find more powerful imagery than that, you know?
Also, if you want peak female aesthetics, go look at a gymnast.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I mean, a lot of
the males actually, like the guys who do like the iron cross and the ring work, like Jesus, they have fucking arms like insane.
But
and
for the women gymnasts, though, they tend to have quite a lot of muscle and they tend to be short.
Yeah, but they don't look like jacked. They don't look.
What about like
they're on
female
roids.
swimmers maybe or well, runners? Because women who do a lot of cardio tend to look quite nice. But you want a little more muscle than the cardio bunnies, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the chick that actually does weights,
Mhm.
but not like the point to.
But
like,
not the-
obsession.
Yeah.
Like don't do
The
gear. Like the
Iron
people,
Woman
like
stuff,
the chicks
you know.
that like, oh look, we'll take Winstrol. It's like no.
Mhm.
Like there's no reason for you to take any of that shit. You can be a female and be. It's because the women have this really weird thing that they don't want to take drugs because they think they'll make them look bulky, but they will.
Yeah.
They will take drugs to get thinner. It's like, bitch, just eat a fucking salad. Like you realize for women, you're not men. You don't have testosterone. You're not gonna bulk like a dude.
It's okay. I gotta be honest. I can understand that. Women don't want to. There's a confusion there, and that first of all, it's gonna take you a lot longer to get muscle definition as a woman. It just takes more work because women don't have the
Testosterone.
testosterone,
hormones, yeah.
to facilitate that.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get like jacked,
Shredded.
right?
Yeah.
But you might have to eat more, but you're gonna like in order to if you're doing more exercise, you're doing more activity, and you want to build some muscle, you're gonna have to eat more. And there's a big aversion in women doing that. Women who are body conscious in eating more, because then it's like, oh no, I don't want to get fat. So it's kind of it's a bit of a confusing thing, I guess, for women to figure out how to navigate. It shouldn't be, but it is. JSYT9NT for 5 says the left cries mud eugenics, so it's ironic they're the ones doing it to themselves. I can't help but think, don't interrupt your enemies. Well, they are doing it to themselves, and a lot of that is just pure anti-white hatred. But of course, they're making up for it by importing millions of people, millions of non-whites. Tato Chip, who they can control,
Genes and inferior cultures.
but who are reliant upon the state, who are useful idiots, who they can control. Tato Chip 7612 for €2 says girls in my MMA class had interesting thighs. I'm sure they did. Interesting. Let's see. Troll of Crooks digital. Okay, so this profile, DeviantArt profile for the guy who shot at Trump. List pronouns as they, them. Not clear whether Crooks identified as transgender. Troll of his digital footprint dating back almost a decade before he tried to kill Trump on July 13th, 2024, in an election. It's been a year and a half then. Or damn near. Shows an increasing obsession with violence, increasingly radical comments, and artwork that seemingly arose during COVID-19. What was I talking about earlier? There it is, according to sources. The sources used publicly available research tools to link multiple email addresses to Crooks, and then found. But again, why did this take a year? This should have taken a day.
You know, 10 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, a day at most. YouTube, Snapchat, PayPal, Discord, Chess.com, Quora, and DeviantArt. The FBI has not confirmed the details of Crooks' possible social media accounts. Did not respond to requests for comment on Monday. His early online presence, when he would have been in high school, was almost exclusively pro-Trump. While he made and by the way, this tends to be a theme, and I do wonder about it, is why this happens. And I think it might be social pressure, because particularly if you're a degen like this guy, it ends up, and I think I found it in a lot of the data I have in my new video, which is that people who lean conservative in one way or another are very, very critical of other conservatives. And I think that can spiral into hate if you're, particularly, let's say, if your like conservative beliefs aren't very founded on anything, you know, if you're a young person who just kind of is like, Trump's cool, but it's not really founded on anything, and it's accompanied with some mental illness stuff, I think that can absolutely explain things like this. Yeah. I always believed being patriotic was lining up a bunch of socialist Jews like the ones that booed Trump and blasting their useless brains out with an AR. YouTube account featuring Crooks' full name posted in the comments section under a clip of Trump being booed in the 2019 World Series in DC. Like, this again is so bizarre. Now, of course, the left will use this as, he was a Trump fan, well, clearly something changed. Was it the porn and degeneracy, and he was more welcomed on the left, and so then he took his anger out on Trump? Or, I mean, really, these people are all fed ops, let's just be honest. You find a crazy person, give them a direction to go at, and give them a gun.
Why is my background messy?
So what did I miss in my absence?
We're talking about the guy who shot at Trump being a degenerate furry.
No surprises there.
Everyone who used to be a Trump supporter, every one of the Trump-hating Democrats deserve to have their heads chopped off, and put on stakes, spelled steaks as in the meat, for the world to see what happens to you when you fuck with America, spelled incorrectly. Is that? Okay, he said in one comment under an MSNBC clip in 2019. He also described in detail how he would use an assault rifle against a crowd of political opponents, frequently quoting the line, "The only true political power comes from the barrel of a gun," from Mao Zedong. Crooks. Look, the guy's a lunatic. Clearly, this person was mentally fucking ill. It's the same thing with the Melissa Hortman.
That was kind of the point.
Yeah, what's the same thing with
I don't know if these people are found or
case.
made like this and then used.
That is the question. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the CIA, FBI, whatever, usually CIA, they find these kinds of unhinged people and they nudge them, don't they?
Yep.
Go do violence.
That is the consensus.
Yep. Crooks made violent threats against Democrat members of the squad, sources said. "I hope a quick, painful death to all the deplorable immigrants and anti-Trump congresswomen who don't deserve anything this country has given them." 2019. By 2020, amid COVID pandemic, he appeared to make a 180-degree turn in his views on Trump. "I'm pretty sure people are just racist and like, what is this? Like, this guy's crazy, right? Like, you don't make this kind of change in utter flip in ideology within 8 months."
I have a conspiracy theory about this, as well as the Charlie Kirk shooting.
Yes, please regale me, sir.
Okay, so let's just say if you wanted to, you see, in the old days before you had the internet, people tended to believe the government more often because there wasn't many other voices speaking up. Now, I would imagine if the internet comes and sort of fucks up your game, but you still have control of the internet through the state apparatuses in some way, I'm not saying this is how it's done. I'm just saying this is something that I would do if I had the reins of power. You have people like Ian Carroll and Candace Owens, people who you can artificially inflate through algorithmic means. I would imagine what I would do is I would do two things. I would either drip the truth into like little parts of them, and you would have to be completely schizo to go through all of them and piece it together in some way that is correct. It's like figuring like a for code out of like, you can have 9,999 combinations. There's no way in hell you'll ever guess them. You could do that, or because the reputations of the institutions are so destroyed, you could literally tell the truth out in the open and no one would fucking believe you.
Well, yeah. That's the crazy stuff. I mean, like, you know, it is true
same
to a certain extent. To a certain extent, that conspiracy theories are just facts that haven't been, you know, don't have enough evidence for. It's more specifically than that. It's not that they don't have enough evidence. They're not allowed to be true yet.
This what you're reading right now could be completely true, but because the institutions have such a bad reputation, they could be completely transparent and no one would believe them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe this.
Exactly,
This is very bizarre. This is extreme. Now, to be fair, I did witness this, and when we talk about the Teen Vogue thing later, I witnessed basically this happened to my friend in college, or she was in college, but we've been friends since high school, and I did watch over the course of what felt like a year and a half her go from having, I don't know, she was never like a MAGA Trump person, but having sort of normal, I would call them libertarian right opinions, into being like an extreme hardcore far leftist. And it was from reading Teen Vogue. I'm not saying that it's impossible that this didn't happen and he didn't have this strange flip because of underlying mental illness, which does make that more likely. But it is also, be aware always that this is always being filtered through. Here's what the media is reporting on. Well,
the cycle.
Yes, the cycle of the slop. Crooks also appeared to have an obsession with the coronavirus, and his disillusion with Trump appeared to stem from what he saw as Republican president's resistance to enacting social distancing mandates and bans on public gatherings. The COVID stuff did fuck people up.
Where's the evidence for that, though? That's just asserted.
Well, he wanted, I guess, more social distancing. He claimed Trump was too slow and everything he's doing now should have been done, adding that there wasn't any reasonable defense for Trump. It's around the time he started posting violent artworks, according to sources. One piece titled "How He Lost His Eye." I would post violent
artwork too if I look like that.
True, to be honest. And he just looks like a dork. He wasn't like unsalvageable, right? He just kind of looks like a dork. Oh man, he's kind of a dork.
Yeah, it's physiognomy check.
Not to be, yeah.
Let's not mince words.
I would, but my stream won't work properly.
Oh no. Shared on DeviantArt shows a figure clad in black executing another figure in front of a blue and pink backdrop, matching the colors of the trans pride. Where is this? Is that what this is? This is something else. A purpose kill blue. Main weapon pistol. Name purple. Clone number 90. Who knows? Dude, what the fuck is this? This is just some edgy fucking art. I don't know what this is.
Are you supposed to be looking at this?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not on the screen.
This is what. Oh, this is the blue and purple. Oh, they're saying this is a trans color. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I straight up can't even look at it.
Is the eye thing a reference to Dan Crenshaw? Who knows? Who knows what we're supposed to fucking make out of this schizo's fucking weird DeviantArt post? He's a schizo. Let's see.
In conclusion, don't care what he was up to, Feds did it.
Feds did it. Looks like it. Yeah, it looked like he got Fedized, right?
We are not here to
got federated.
Extrapolate the inner workings of some psychopath's fucking DeviantArt. We're here to just cut to the chase and say Feds did it.
True, I agree. Flan the Man for 5 says, more Arizona facts. Hey, thank you for the Arizona facts. These are actually pretty cool. It's one of the 2 states that don't do daylight savings. I had no idea about that. That's actually pretty, That's pretty neat, that one. Yeah. What's the other one? You have to pay for that. The Printmaster for €5 says, my internet would have so much more real edits and less women talk. Gotta give Zoomers what they want. I just gotta figure. I know. I mean, like making shit short and I can kind of do some of it if I'm making I'm doing like some of the edits I've done on this channel, like some of the that I've just uploaded here as videos on Broken Crown, where it's
What was the shooter that almost succeeded? Every shooter that didn't get the target almost succeeded because they got close enough to take the shot. So that doesn't really narrow it down.
Well, I mean, like let's see, what one's a good one. This is a good one. I like to do these little drill edits. Well, I like to make these. They're pretty fun.
Courtney Love was a CIA.
That's from 2 years ago. Fuck.
Courtney Love sold drugs at CIA.
Yeah, make more shit like this, guys. I should probably. Just do some Zoomer shit.
So I still can't watch the stream at my end.
You can't see it at all?
No.
Yeah, what have you been sharing shit this whole time?
Have I? Has it not been on the screen?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's why I asked you, are you sharing shit? Because
why can I see it on my side?
It does not load.
Because it's on the New York Post this whole fucking time.
Yeah, it's been on the New York Post.
Okay, but...
I forgot to put up my video when I was... Oh, shit, dude, I forgot that. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't even load the New York Post.
Oh. Wait, what?
It's on my screen.
Is nothing... Okay.
No, the New York Post is on my
sorry, I did forget to post up. Sorry, you just heard music. Oh, damn it, dude. Okay, see, I had a boomer moment, okay? I had a big boomer moment. Just ignore me. Just
boomer Jim moment.
Okay, castigate me, chat. Press C to castigate.
No, they're busy typing 6 letters in sequence.
Oh, that's true. Better. Yeah, continue the tower first. We must first finish our works. Anyway. Okay. So, God. All right. So we're moving out of woke, and we're moving into all this stupid shit's being put away. But here's the new hotness in terms of slop. So it's like the opposite of the new hotness. It's the new gayness, and it's kosher right. So Ben Shapiro comes out defending H-1B visas. No. God, I mean, I'm sure that they're besties. Well, probably not, because they all hate each other.
Aiden, you're still not sharing the thing.
Yeah,
I'm not?
Still not loading.
No.
I just get stream failed.
Okay, 1 second.
She's talking to herself. I don't think she remembers that she's on push to talk. And therefore probably can't multitask. Now your audio's not coming through.
So Bill, how are you doing?
Her Discord has crashed apparently.
Has it? Oh,
probably might have been some impetus toward it.
That's funny, you're on my
I'm doing absolutely fucking god awful. How's your day been?
Well, it's becoming summer over here. I forgot how hot this fucking country is. Yeah, dude, I can basically walk out at like 7:30 in the morning and get a tan. Like it's not even summer yet. Yeah, dude, it's but I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning because the sun is just beaming through the fucking windows.
Well, that would explain why things weren't working. Cool. Anyway,
I guess you also got a Windows update waiting in the wings to completely destroy your lifestyle.
Is that what it is? Let me see. No, I don't know what it. Anyway, okay, you can see my screen now. We all good?
Speaking of invasive things that we can't seem to escape that just repeatedly fuck up our lives, Hebrews.
Make sure. Did I have this? Oh, 1 second. It's not supposed to be. I'm trying to keep this in Chrome though for the exact reason I said before. So
San Andreas.
1 second. I'm gonna switch it to Chrome because it's just more stable on Chrome. Make sure. I know. There we go. Hey, okay. Hey, there's Ben Habibo.
Switch it back off.
I know. I also wish I could. Anyway, all right, we're good now. I think. Let me make sure. Let me bring up YouTube so I get the studio back up because everything kind of crashed here for a minute. Such a major crash out. Okay. 1 second. I'm just
everyone's favorite Romulan infiltrator, Ben Shapiro.
Yes, indeed. 1 moment. I just had to get the stuff up so I can see the live stream. Well, anyway, let's play it while I'm doing that.
There are, in fact, certain positions in the United States that require a level of expertise that may not be reachable in the numbers that are currently being churned out by American universities. That is a shortcoming of our education.
Fuck off.
That would make sense if like something Crowder had it up, like something like over 80% of H-1B visas are used for like entry-level positions. So this thing of like we're bringing in foreign talent is just a crock of shit. It's not true.
It is a crock of shit. The people who you bring into these H-1B visas, these people, I don't care what degrees they have. This has been proven out time and time again. Every piece of evidence that's come out about this is that these people, the coders, for example, the computer scientists, the people that they bring in to do that kind of stuff, do not fucking know how to code. They don't know what they're doing.
If the job you want done requires we bring in someone who is like a third world fucking degenerate nightmare creature who can't keep it in his pants and has to rape people because they've got no impulse control, maybe your business shouldn't exist.
There was I think it was the Lotus Eaters lads. I think Josh was discussing it, and he was saying they had a discussion with one of the tech guys.
Yes, with Josh. I did.
With, like,
I watched
drone
this.
programs and that kind of shit. So he's way more advanced than the average person. And he said, I think it was him. He pointed out that they seem to be competent enough during the interview, but when it comes down to actually doing work, they have no fucking idea what the hell they're doing.
Well, they probably are competent enough in an interview because you have to understand they do some of these interviews through text, and the Indian is using ChatGPT.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
You know what I mean? So it seems competent enough.
Not, they've got a HR manager who speaks fucking Hindi to ease things over, and that person is literally just not looking at anyone but Indians.
But there was let me see if I can find this real quick because we looked at it the other day, or I looked at it on Uzulu's show, which was that
Steam Plague the Explorer, not $20. Bill's fund usage is discretion. Spoon is still an Indian who won't disavow Krishna. Bring Mal back. Also end Deus Volt.
I'm an Indian because I won't disavow Krishna. You do realize I literally said the only race that existed should be ours, right?
I mean, yes.
Disavow Krishna. It's a fucking demon.
Disavow Krishna.
Price is Lord.
Here it is. All right. Got it. Just to make sure that we have the information up here. All right. So India, 90% of engineering grads lack key coding skills. This is the important graph here. So here you go. 90% of Indian engineers lack key coding skills and employability of Indian IT engineering graduates. This is as of 2019, to be fair, but still. Graduates able to write correct code with few errors. India, 10%. China, 8.6%. US, 34.1%. Then you've got graduates not able to write correct code, so there's problems in it, errors. The Indians are doing better than the Chinese, again, actually, on this. 52% India, 81% not able to write correct code in China. 61.8% in the United States. And then the worst one, the dark red here, which is that the code is not compilable, it is 37.7%. So you've got way more catastrophic errors in the Indian coders. 10.4% in China, and only 4.1% in the United States for graduates.
Now, there's no one going to China or India for their graduation to get qualified.
But that's what they always claim,
plenty
right?
Going to the US for it. So
the reality
the US is going to be
gotta
grotesquely affected by their by use via India and China for this shit.
What this means is that when they bring these people in these entry-level positions, which they're bringing them in for, they have to train them from scratch because they don't know. It doesn't matter what degree they've got, right? Or how much supposed experience they've got. The inherent message when you hire, like what every business knows when they hire someone from India is they're going to have to train them because they're not going to know what to do. So they're going to have to be trained basically from the ground up because these people cannot write effective code. They don't know what they're doing. So why are you bringing in people from across the fucking planet instead of bringing in Cletus? I know we'll use the offensive stereotype. You bring in Cletus from West Virginia or Tennessee or Kentucky and train him. If you're going to train somebody to do the same fucking job, why are you bringing in an immigrant to do it? Oh, because you get kickbacks for doing so. Because you can pay them less. It's obvious.
There out there in the US, there is a whole horde of Terry Davises in waiting. Ready to revolutionize the world, and they'll never get their day in the sun.
Whoop Batman's ass. Whoop Batman's ass. Yeah, rest in peace.
Code like a fucking white
man. That's not Terry A. Davis. That's the other guy. That's the guy who had the thing in the middle of his head. His name is also Davis, isn't it? Terry something.
I don't fucking know.
The guy with the black guy with the big. I thought you were talking about him. I forgot about.
No, I'm talking about Terry A. Davis.
I forgot about
Temple OS.
Was that his? Yeah, I don't know where my brain went. I was thinking
I'm
about somebody
completely
else.
lost as to what the fuck you two are talking
Don't worry about it. It wasn't. I got confused. Yes, Temple OS guy. Code like a white man. Sorry.
You're thinking of Wesley Willis.
I'm thinking of Wesley Willis. I think of someone totally different. Why did I think of Wesley Willis? I'm sorry. I don't know how I got
like
that.
a white man.
Dude, no, yeah, I wasn't coding like a white man.
I will say though, making your own compiler is psychosis.
It is psychosis that he made his own compiler. Yeah,
man.
It really is. I mean that's why it was an operating system blessed by God.
Support.
It really was. Bastion 873 F3P for 5 says, "Hail to the most bloody diverse podcast with a Baron Harkonnen, the skeleton form of Jason and the skeleton from Jason and the Argonauts, and metrosexual Mr. Clean." Which of us? Oh, okay. I'm the skeleton from Jason the Argonauts. That movie scared me so much. The skeletons in particular, by the way. I guess Spoon is metrosexual Mr. Clean, and I guess Bill that you are Baron Harkonnen.
I'm metrosexual
very
Mr.
poorly.
Clean. I'm not even sure what to make of that.
Mr. Clean's already pretty metro.
Yeah.
He's pretty zesty at the best of times.
It's a bit zesty.
Like lemon inclusion or not, pretty zesty at the best of times.
A bit zesty. Mighty Biscuit for 10 says, "Fun fact about Michigan, the Great Lakes are some of the deadliest waters to sail and are big enough to drastically affect the local weather, hence the term lake effect weather." I watched an interesting documentary about a ship that sunk in one of the one of the Great Lakes. And it sounded like it would have, the way the story was framed and everything about it was like, well, this sounds like it's at sea, but no, it was in the Great Lakes. Fascinating stuff, but yeah, very huge lakes. Superior for a reason, I suppose. The Printmaster for €2 says, "I see Ben, I know what's coming, don't we all?" Steam Plague the Explorer for 20 says, "Bill Fund," yeah, uses, did you read that one, Bill? You did, yeah?
Yes.
Disavow Krishna, yes. The San Jose Savage 7442 for 20 says, "Merchants rule everything around me. Usury is king, y'all. I disavow usury in all forms."
Usury should have been banned fucking centuries ago. And anyone who practiced it should have been hung.
I think the Edmund Fitzgerald, yes. Yes. That sounds familiar. The ship. I love, okay, look, I don't know what it is, but I love putting on a video when I go to sleep about old shipwrecks. There's something about sea disasters that I deeply love, or I find endlessly fascinating. I don't love them, but I should say I find endlessly fascinating sea mysteries, because it's it is a bit of a mystery. It always has been. It's always fascinated humanity.
Do you
I guess I fall into
at
that.
The bottom of the ocean?
It's crazy that we basically have something akin to outer space on Earth that's so unexplored. I find that fascinating endlessly. Manny Yutsushai for 10 says, "One need to ask oneself why big business, religious charities, Democrat activists, neocons, and libertarian think tanks, which disagree on every other issue, agree on one thing: mass immigration." Profit. Good question indeed. And yes, profit is the answer. Printmaster for €10 says, "Even if you need to fill those jobs, what does it do to your society?" That's never the question asked. That's kicking the can down the road. Well, we'll figure that out later, man. We'll figure it out. We just need to, we gotta pump the GDP. Wow, when you're a millionaire and everyone else is suffering. Exactly. A white guy delivering your pizza is less of a problem than Hassan delivering your pizza. Well, Hassan's never going to deliver it. What do you want him to do? Starve?
He doesn't follow directions very well.
He has to eat that pizza, man. You want him to starve? Hassan will also live here. Yeah.
That's fine.
He'll just eat the problem. And not just will he live here, his children will live here. That's the whole problem with us. So, yeah.
He'll abort them.
Not that Hassan, but Hassan, the Mohammeds, right? So here's Benny Boy Habibo
Lions
coming out and being like,
"They're just Jesus fucking Christ, that's really rich coming from you, Ben."
There's nobody qualified in America to take the... Yes, there are. And if there's not, train them. Because you got to train the Indians and the Chinese anyway. So train them.
American universities. That is a shortcoming of our educational system, and it is a problem.
Oh, shut up.
And so you can say we should up our game. I agree. We should absolutely up our game educationally. But in the meantime, if you do not bring in the labor supply, particularly to...
I couldn't believe I had this conversation with Uzlu, and he made this exact same point that Ben Shapiro had last week. You missed it, Spoon. He agreed essentially with what Shapiro was saying here.
There's a good thing that I wasn't on there. I would have called it.
Oh, I know. But it was like, what are you saying, Omi? oh, just as a temporary Band-Aid. That Band-Aid doesn't go away, and you should know this. If you're agreeing with Ben Shapiro, you gotta, I think, no offense to usually, but I think you gotta check yourself a little bit, friend.
Tech will go find the labor supply. And so what you will end up with is an office that was employing 30 Americans and 3 H-1B visa people. If the costs grow too high, simply moving to another country where they hire 30 Indians. And
well, what are they doing? They're staying in the same office to reduce, I guess, some of their costs and having essentially government-funded, or at least government-backed up, H-1B programs where they can then just bring the Indians here. That's better somehow?
Ben, your solution is taking the third world, all the companies will leave.
Over here.
Then
it's either lose the companies to the third world. He's trying to. This is not the actual dichotomy here, by the way.
The point of the tariffs is to disincentivize this.
Yes, exactly. So that he is presenting a false dichotomy of either lose the business, or by exporting it to the third world, or import the third world. Those companies don't want to move overseas. They don't. They'd much rather be in America. Trust me. And tariffs and other things like that can help improve that, make it more, in that if you need to incentivize these businesses to operate in the United States, there's many ways to, yes, protectionism and economics. There's many ways to do that don't involve exporting the businesses overseas because you make it impossible for them to operate here because of regulations and retarded shit and DEI practices and all that kind of stuff as well, which doesn't help. Or it's not a dichotomy between that and importing the third world to the United States and making them all citizens. Because you think these people just leave? They've worked here for 5 years. They get married. They have children. They become citizens. That's how it works. And you know that, Ben. He's such a lying... Oh, I find him so
You're forgetting the important
revolting.
bit where they start practicing a female infanticide.
Sure, all that kind of shit they do when they don't leave their culture behind. They don't. That includes all kinds of shit no one wants to talk about. Yes, like female infanticide.
That is something that
feticide.
Many Americans say is this bullshit of assimilation. And the thing that I want to point out is that your ancestors didn't assimilate. They brought
sure
the fucking
haven't, have
culture
they?
with you and then made an entire new fucking country. People don't become nomads or like go through like fucking Project Year Zero the moment they touch magic new soil. Ever.
Talk about assimilation as he sits here wearing his kippah. You know? Did you assimilate, Ben?
No.
What country do you actually pledge
allegiance to? You're given a whole free country and you still make it everyone else's fucking problem.
Ben Shapiro, if really push came to shove, what country would he pledge his allegiance to? Is it the United States or is it Israel? Because I think it's fucking Israel. Well, yeah, maybe.
0 Americans. Right? This is the problem with the reason companies offshore is not because it's easy or fun to simply move your company somewhere else. It's because the labor cost becomes so prohibitive in the United States.
No, it's because, look, yes, it's cheaper. Incentivize them to hire Americans. Make it so that they have reasons to do business in America with and train Americans who can actually be competent at the job rather than either exporting the business overseas or importing Pajeets to fundamentally change the racial demographics of the United States. Figure it out. It shouldn't be that fucking complicated. Just make it difficult for them to do that. Make it financially difficult and they won't do it. And they'll put Americans through the exact same training programs that they put the Jeets through anyway.
United States, that companies move away. And you can try to tariff them back, but all that does is artificially raise the price on Americans. Again, we're talking about affordability.
Too bad. Like you're going to have to do that
Things
if you
are
want
more
long-term
expensive,
solutions to this
but
shit.
everything around me is better.
Exactly. More people have jobs. More people have well-paying jobs. The industry is based in the United States. Sorry, get fucked. Yeah, maybe a little temporary pain in terms of the tariffs, but the long-term effect of being able to get Americans jobs is so much more beneficial to society, rather than this always short-term, immediate profit, GDP fucking go up nonsense. Ooh, number on chart go up, they're good. Just fuck right off with that, Benny boy.
There are trade-offs in economics. Autarky comes with the fun feeling that everybody in America is making American product. It comes with the very large downside that your products are economically inefficient, they don't work as well, and you're not globally competitive.
What an insane thing to say.
Hey, remember how we had a major
American
issue?
products are worse than Indian ones?
Remember we had the bigger issue where Indian like turmeric was being brought in, and you had to check it with a water test because it was being cut with lead.
Yes.
Did
and
he
Ben
just
Shapiro's here.
imply-
Yes.
Did he just imply
Yes,
that foreign labor does a better job than American workers?
Yes, he did.
That is what you just said.
Yep.
Ben, you hate Americans. Like, you're an
He
absolute
sure does.
despicable fucking cretin. Go to Israel, you fucking...
Yeah, get out.
Four-letter word with a
Go to
K.
the country you pledge your true allegiance to, Ben, and get the fuck out of America.
Right. All policies have trade-offs. It is also
That's not
better
a policy.
for the American
That
people,
is-
broadly speaking.
You literally just said foreign workers are more competent than American ones.
Yes. This has
You
been a
absolute
refrain that
fucking
his
cunt.
ilk have been on for a couple weeks now, which is that no, we need the foreign labor, but we'd rather be here, and we import the third world rather than have companies
Import more of
potentially
our
leave.
shabos,
Yes.
who are like this is
Exactly.
India is slavish in their worship of Israel. It's embarrassing even by the Israelis own like account.
You know what's
they want
curious
to
about
import
that?
more of the slave castes.
Is fucking that explains why. Roseanne
But the
Barr,
client is always loving of their master until the master turns on them.
Roseanne Barr said that if America were to abandon Israel, it would suffer. America would suffer,
Right.
Because they would just go to
Yeah.
India. Okay, well then suck
Oh,
off
come
India.
on.
Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, Roseanne.
How about not
but,
suck off?
anyone? Yeah, but
Look,
if
how about-
you look
if
at
you're
if
gonna
you look
suck
at
off-
historically,
Yeah.
that group of people has been kicked out of several countries over the course of 2,000 years. And you know what? It gets better. Ask Spain's golden age.
Look, here's the thing. The countries that America should be building strong relationships with, and it's always been baffling to me as to why not. And part of it is the reticence from the other countries. But first and foremost, it should be the Anglosphere, which there are strong relationships with. But it should be Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. It's a built-in international network. It's the only form of globalism I am in any way support of, which is that if
Instead,
you're going
America
to...
has literally fucked over those nations harder than anyone.
Yes, it has. In many ways.
Leaving Australia basically in the lurch over its submarine program.
But though, if America is going to be aligned and allied with foreign nations to any degree in terms of immigration and bringing in people and foreign experts, your choices should be the other countries that speak the same fucking language as you. Have the same cultural and religious history as you. Doing it with countries like Israel or India makes no fucking sense. You bring in people... in India's case, you're bringing in people who do not have a shared ethos.
You just want a slave labor class.
Yes, that's it.
Because all
Just
you
say
care
you
about
want
is
slaves.
profit.
Yes.
And guess what? You will plunge everyone into the same fucking problem you did back at the last batch of them you brought in.
And by the way, I should say, despite saying that, I don't like also the idea of America poaching talented people from any of the other Anglosphere nations either. What you need to do is foster and create and make it profitable to and incentivize the development of talent which exists. I hate this sort of narrative that there's no talent in America. There is massive unexplored talent in America. You have kept these people down, and Ben, you hate them. They're young white men. There is limitless talent, limitless ingenuity in young
yes,
white
but if
men.
white people get opportunities, then they won't be sat around
Exactly.
sedentary and completely miserable and easy to sign up into causing crimes.
Exactly. You have like the most. You have a great pool of people who are the most creative, who are the most inventive white men, and you are not taking advantage of them because it's easier to import Jeets. It's cheaper to import Jeets or export your company to Jeetistan. Fuck off with that shit, Ben.
To bring in the best from other countries. Now, how do you determine the best? You can make, again, the case, the H-1B visa program.
Well, we just looked at that, didn't we, Ben? Also, if you'd like an update for those not aware about who are the H-1Bs, they are not from Liechtenstein. They're from India and China. Overwhelmingly, they're from India, Pakistan, China. Yes, they're Indians. Yeah. So there's nothing you can do to get around that. The people they import are Indians, who, as we just saw, can't code.
It's fatally flawed. It's not bringing in enough of the best. I will point out that many of our best...
You know, this Yiddish came through a lot stronger there for a second.
Say again, Bill. Sorry.
Notice his fucking Yiddish accent came through much
Oh, it
stronger
did.
for a
It
hot
did.
second.
It did. Let's listen to that again.
The best? I will point out that many of our best founders in the United States are either immigrants or the children of immigrants who came in on H-1B visas or who came in just generally without.
Name one. Who are you talking about? You can't just say shit like this and then not give at least an example. Who are you talking about? Who are the greatest Americans who came in on H-1B visas?
They're not Americans then.
Elon Musk? He's talking about Elon Musk, right? I mean, it's gotta be it.
It's not going to get you a gig, Benny boy.
I don't even know if Elon would agree with you on that.
An H-1B visa.
He might. His Elon's opinion on the H-1B is appeared to be very easily
Elon
influenced
also
by whatever he's
thinks
being told to
120-hour
think.
work week is reasonable.
Yeah,
A
let's
minimum.
not listen to Elon's takes on politics all the time, because he's clearly, despite being a
His
very
father is the
savvy
base
businessman.
one.
Yeah, despite being a very savvy businessman in many ways, as is evident from his success, Elon Musk has made a lot of really dumb decisions and has advocated for some really dumb stuff.
Our old pastor here from South Africa, his neighbor is Elon's dad.
What?
Yeah, so I've heard some stories about Elon as a kid.
Small world.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
Can we
crazy,
get rid of?
dude.
Can we cut the episode where your mum comes on? Just bring this dude on. He sounds like
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
well, I think I've been paid to do that, so my mother coming on next week at least.
Other forms of legal immigration as students. And the reality is that maybe our screening procedures should be different, but we need to see specifics on what the screening procedures you're applying are that would allow for there to be, for example.
Why don't you apply this to Israel? Ben, why is Israel not importing the best and the brightest from the Punjab?
It's a good question.
So they already got their Shabas from Ethiopia.
Curious.
An Elon Musk, American citizen, creating tens of thousands of jobs.
Apartheid for
Or
me,
head
but
of
not for
Google.
thee.
Every time. And again, we know where his loyalties lie. He is literally wearing his loyalty on his head.
Senator Pinchai, creating tens of thousands of jobs.
Well, we're sucking up to Sundar Pichai now.
See,
Dude, this is
Jobs that
crazy.
are funneling money out of the economy into India's, propping it up.
See,
Unbelievable.
this is the thing. All he cares about is just the material and the
Yes,
the jobs.
GDP
just,
go
just
up.
the raw.
What's that? A
side.
rootless savage acts like a rootless savage.
Unfathomable, I know.
Or the head of Microsoft, Satya Nadella,
Ruthless
creating tens of thousands.
The head of Microsoft, the head of Google, their name shouldn't be things like Sundar Pichai or whatever the
Should
fuck
be a
other
Smith or
thing you
Jobs.
just said was. Sorry, they shouldn't be that in the first place. It's absurd.
Of jobs. Now you can say that maybe if those people didn't exist, there would be an American who just did that job. But that is now
There would
living
be.
in the realm of
It's not. If you didn't give preference to those people, because they do, because it's all a bunch of nepotistic nonsense, which let's be fair, the Jews famously engage in. Even Jews admit to this, that they hire their own because, well, you gotta look out for your brother, you know?
And those that don't.
And every other
are
group except white people does that.
That all the promotions are going through are literally just like, this person's a fucking retard. Boot them upstairs so they can cause less trouble.
Oftentimes is the case.
I've got three employees. One's what we
Yeah,
like to
failing
call like
upwards.
a one that works his ass off, like does all the hours that are asked of him, even the ones that aren't on his contract. He works his fucking ass off and just does the right thing.
Yep.
That's what we call a hand type employee. Then we have what's called a glove type employee. As long as he's got someone with him, he will work his ass off and he will keep pace. And then you have the fucking wastrel who just does fuck all.
Yeah.
If I get rid of if I've got a promotion coming up, if I promote the guy who knows the guy who's actually proficient, the hand, then the glove and the fucking wastrel are completely pointless. They will do nothing. Nothing will get done.
Yes.
If I promote the glove,
yes,
then the wastrel will continue to be a wastrel, and he will get booted upstairs where he will gold brick in a high position, and we lose out on a potential amount of productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can promote the wastrel, who was already doing nothing, so we don't lose anything.
Exactly.
We might get lucky. He might get his shit together, but it's very
No, they don't really. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, exactly.
He was already delegating his work to someone else anyway, so he knows how to delegate.
It's loyalty testing. Always it is who's going to be loyal to us. If someone feels like they owe you, for example, because they know they don't belong in that position, they know they have built-in imposter syndrome, not because they are actual imposters. So it's not imposter syndrome. They are legitimate imposters.
They are loyal because they cannot. Their skills are not there.
They can't survive on their own.
They can't be transferable skills if the skills don't exist.
Yes. So they will be loyal to a fault.
Of theory. It is not living in the realm of reality. Brain draining other countries is also a good thing for America in terms of our own global competitiveness.
No, it's not. And again, it was one I brought that up too, is that I don't really like the concept of brain draining better country or other countries of their best people. But that shouldn't be happening exceptionally either. And by the way, it is happening in the UK. I looked at those data quite extensively not too long ago. In that, the best and the brightest from the United Kingdom are many of them are going to the United States under the auspices of having better opportunities because of the state that Britain's in, which is fucked. It shouldn't be the case. Some transfer is fine, but it shouldn't be this mass exodus. And by the way, that's been the case for the last 150 years. The U.S. has brain drained the UK. Let's see. Woo. We have quite a few super chats here. Let's see. Major Metroid 8035 for 2 says, "What's usury?" Bill, do you want to explain usury?
For legal reasons, I think someone else should handle this one. I'll say something regrettable.
Bill, I want you to say something regrettable.
I like the regrettable.
Yeah, but it doesn't keep us monetized. Now they've just given us a bunch of money. I would hate to see it go to waste.
Like, in terms of what user
money
generally
lending
means,
at high interest
yes,
rates.
it's
predatory lending.
It's not banking inherent. Although I would say the idea of interest is usury. Okay, but it's any sort of it's the predatory banking is what people are usually talking about when they're talking
lending
about
with
usury.
interest charged is usury by definition.
Mm-hmm. Printmaster for €2 said, "I up my super chat game to flex my hatred of Ben. Very based." Mr. Richlow Pitch for 10 says, "Old shipwreck videos. The ship sank, pulling a crew of 30 men down to the cold, watery graves, never to be seen again. Aiden, god damn, glad I'm not those guys. Bedtime, Lamau." No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Yes,
it's
it
more
is.
like No, it's not. It's the stories of the struggle of men on the sea exploring, and out in the middle of nowhere. It's
1565, 7,050 Frenchmen met their end in a dark, stormy night.
It's always told in that kind of voice. I love stories about shipwrecks. I'm sorry, I just love stories about the adversity of man against this incredible, overwhelming force that is the sea. I love that.
End on a dark and gloomy night.
Yeah, it's real stories, but I find them endlessly
The ocean's
fascinating.
a bitch, don't at me.
Exactly. Tribeard5291 for another €10 says, "Ironically, people only care about H-1B visas for people outside Western Europe. Plenty of Western Europeans want to live in the US. Yes. Oh, well. And yeah, they do. I don't want to poach. I don't want America to poach all of Europe's talent. And a lot of it does get poached by the United States because
I don't want Latvians or fucking Polacks or what have you running around either.
Be rude towards Eastern Euros.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I like Eastern Euros. Oh, what? Are you agreeing to be rude towards Eastern Euros?
Yes.
I like Eastern Euros. The San Jose Savage for 7442 for 20 says, "We're gonna save the first world by importing the third as he wears his yarmulke." Yes, Talmud logic. It's about importing slave labor and destabilization. It is absolutely, my friend. Printmaster for €10 says, "Being of Midwit origin, I got to know what higher education does to truly capable people here." Oh, I know it as well, my man. I do as well. Academia selects against actual competence. It selects for conformity. So the people who get up very high in academia are the people who are the biggest ass kissers, the biggest conformists. They are not people who have genuine new ideas. And you can see that when you look at academic publications and just regurgitating the same shit that's already been studied. Never a single goddamn new idea. Dude, you know how insane it is? Again, thinking about the video I'm about to release, that the idea of left-wing authoritarianism and an instrument to measure left-wing authoritarianism was first proposed in 2017. developed into an instrument in 2022. How does that make any sense? It makes sense to me as to how it took 100 years for not only us to go, academia, to go, wait, maybe there's left-wing authoritarians, as there obviously were, but also that it takes them another 3 years to develop 5 years, to develop an instrument to measure it. And it is fundamentally distinct from right-wing authoritarianism, as you would expect. 5 years to invent the scale from the first study that was done on the concept of left-wing authoritarianism as an idea that this exists is called Finding the Loch Ness Monster. That is the title of the study. In 2017. And it takes from 2022 till you get a way of measuring it. There's not a single goddamn fucking new idea in academia. They can't even take things that clearly, observably exist and measure them. The fact that that's true should be harrowing to everyone. That we have sat around with Adorno's F scale turned into the right-wing authoritarianism scale for 80 years, and it took until the last 10, not even 8, for us to figure out, and I mean us to figure out within academia, that left-wing authoritarianism is also a fucking demonstrably measurable thing. This is the problem with academia. But yeah, that's the whole thing there with higher education. It doesn't put forward
of the problem with academia.
Yes, because it doesn't put forward people who actually have unique ideas. Instead, puts forward people who regurgitate ideas. They are the ones who get promoted. Yes. As Printmaster goes on to say, they are held back at every turn. We don't have a lack of smart people. We leave them in the dust. 100%, man.
Academia is just a church of slaves.
It is. Major Metroid 8035 for 5 says, America has plenty of talent. There's a whole TV show about it. Very true. Truth Matters for 5 says, breaking news, Ben and the Daily Wire crew will speak at TPUSA's America Fest along with Vivek. Great. I can't wait to watch people I despise. San Jose Savage for 5 says, a brain drain has always been vampiric. Look at the people encouraging. Indeed. Encouraging it, yes. Woolgreath for 10 says, factory fag here. The biggest issues we have is 1, no one is trained to any adequate standard, yes. And 2, no one is fired or punished for screwing up. It's hard to care if no one else does. Exactly. Yeah. Both of those things very much are issues. Now, next one. Actually, if you're opposed to mass importation of H-1Bs, or mass uses of H-1B visas, you're basically literally Hitler. Here he is, conceptual James Lindsay himself. Responding to Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh says, this is in response to this, we'll just play this real quick, it's fairly short. We talked about this before. It was Trump saying, no, the exact same thing that Ben Shapiro was saying, we need more H-1Bs, Americans are not trained, Americans are not skilled. Matt Walsh says, even if it were true that we don't have enough talented people in this country, which it isn't, that would be all the more reason to stop importing foreigners. We need to train our own people, give actual Americans a shot, America's for Americans. I agree completely with Matt Walsh here. And because this is the truth. I disagree with Matt Walsh on a bunch of stuff. He is correct here. James Lindsay comes back and says, I'ma just point out slightly uncomfortably that a historical source for this line, America is to the Americans, in this exact kind of context is Hitler's infamous January 1939 Reichstag speech. Matt is unlikely to know this, of course, and less likely to care. Are you out of your... Yes, excuse me.
This is
what was I
literally
about
when
to
Hitler
ask?
drank water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's James Lindsay. This sounds like the Reichstag fire speech. No, it doesn't.
A nation should
And even if it
prioritize its own
does...
people. Like, why is that shocking to you?
Why is that a bad thing? Yes, Hitler drank water. The German Volk has no desire to have its affairs settled or governed by an alien people, French to the French, England to the English, America to the Americans, and Germany to the Germans. Yes, James!
Yeah,
obviously! Well, this sounds a bit Hitler-esque to me. Jesus Christ, you dork. Such a loser, James. Oh my god. I do enjoy A-logging James Lindsay a little bit, because he never stops. And it's so funny that one of the early episodes we did of this podcast was me talking him up and being like, oh, you did a good job here. I like James. To where it's been for the last 2 years or so, you know what I mean? Flan the Man for 5 says, more Arizona facts. Ooh, let's go. It's largely the only place in the world with saguaro cacti. Saguaro, I think. Saguaro cacti with small patches in California and Mexico. Saguaro? Something like that?
Saguaro.
What is this kind of cacti? Let's look at a picture of it, shall we?
It's like what you think of when you think of cartoon cactus.
Oh, the cartoon. Yeah. Yes, the cartoony cactus. They're pretty. They're neat. All right. So James Lindsay is being James Lindsay. Never-ending lolcow.
Speaking of pricks.
Speaking of lolcows and idiots, here's Dinesh D'Souza. So Vivek Ramaswamy, who I also can't stand, says, time to fix the K-12 education by bringing literacy and numeracy standards back to public schools. I do agree with that. Replace victimhood psychology with academic excellence. Okay? You could be more specific, but sure. 3rd grade reading guarantee. That's actually insane to me, but whatever. That it's that high. I think you should be reading it 1st grade, but okay. 8th grade algebra competence, 12th grade civics exams. No shit, you're about to enter real world stuff. Skills-based training for students who want to enter the trades. It won't happen overnight, but this is how we get serious about making America great again. Ohio is ready to lead the way. These are really low standards, by the way, that he's proposing here. And Dinesh comes back and says, how ironic it will be if a brown American like Vivek actually helps to fix education and raise the prospects of white kids, while all the professional whiteys on X continue their idle boasting about how they too could get us to the moon. Just like some white dudes did in 1969. Well, they did do that, didn't they, Dinesh? Who actually got to the fucking moon? It's the Germans, wasn't it? Dinesh? What have you done, sir?
My favorite thing is to go into NASA HQ and throw up a hard Roman and see who reacts. See who's
Here's
the old
the fucking
staffers.
thing. Every time, they always reveal their actual preferred in-group preference.
Yep.
Dinesh D'Souza, a
always
supposed
tribal.
conservative, right-winger, America First guy, shows professional whiteys. White kids' feelings, sort of. You know, he says
Talk a big
prospects,
game.
whatever.
Somebody went to prison for campaign fraud.
Ultimately, Dinesh D'Souza cares about Indians first, because he's Indian. Everyone is like this to a certain extent, with the exception of kind of liberal white women. And they're largely insane. And it is a psychopathic trait. I mean, I show it in my new video. People who have that outgroup preference, having an outgroup preference in this sense, not in the way that Dinesh has, but the liberal white women have, is related very strongly to psychopathy.
Congratulations, you proved what everyone who's ever had 5 minutes dealing with a white woman has known off the bat.
And I see no fucking difference between this. This is just disgusting from Dinesh. It's the same shit, though.
Well, Dinesh, congratulations. You had like 30 years of goodwill from right-wingers, and now you've pissed it away in one tweet.
It is. And of course, the other problem, it's not just we need to import the third world. Obviously, Indians are better, you know, that say the conservatives, but also you can't be anti-Semitic because then that's when society collapses. If you think your society is collapsing, well, that's just because of anti-Semitism, says Bibi Netanyahu. Also, the San Jose Savage, for another 5, says James frequently engages in the genetic fallacy. Yes, he does. He makes the painter look based and sensible in this context. He has done it many times before, man. He's good at that one, at accidentally owning himself, yes.
Anti-Semitism usually collapses societies. It's
really?
Not usually, always collapses.
Or is it the societies are collapsed when they
is
get
it just
too
me, or is he looking a
anti-Semitic?
bit scuffed in this?
I mean, he always looks evil as fuck. Cause
I know, but he's looking like blurry around the edges and places, like he's not moving correctly.
Maybe.
To societies. Because it starts with the Jews, and then it goes to the blacks, and then it goes to the gays, and then it goes to the Hispanics, and so on.
Strangely, you're the ones being targeted now from your own perspective, right? Only now has there been mass criticism against Israel. So that's not actually true, is it?
Video?
It must be, yeah.
And you just
on his side.
Collapse societies.
Oy vey goyim.
He is, the way his camera's working, like there's a weird artifact, like a box in the middle. Like it's an overlay.
I'm going to show you a clip now.
Not
where they're going to be
editorial, but it looks like he's not actually the person talking.
Maybe.
This is
I'm going to show you the next layer of this, though, right? Anti-Semitism always collapses all societies. They always come for the Jews first. Well, it seems like you're being come for very last in terms of the woke cycle, aren't you? It's very difficult to criticize Jews for anything for a very long time because, well, Hitler. Well, I'm going to show you what they think about Hitler and what the point is. And what are we supposed to learn from the Holocaust, right? The greatest tragedy in all of human history. It's about how genocide and ethnic cleansing is wrong, right? No, not according to this speech from the Jewish Federation of North America. It's not because genocide is wrong, because when Israel does a genocide, well, I mean, that's justified. Genocide is only wrong when it's against Jewish people. If Jewish people do it, it's okay.
And, I think, unfortunately, the very smart, bet that we made on Holocaust education to serve as anti-Semitism education, in this new media environment, I think that is beginning to break down a little bit. Because, Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
Oh my God, why would you just say it? Why would you just say it? Yeah, you fucked up. You fucked up. You told young people, you drilled it into their brains that genocide is wrong. And yes, it is. But that, no, not like that. Genocide's not wrong when we're the ones doing it.
You are killing weaker Palestinians.
Unfucking believable. I mean, like a true mask-off moment.
These people do not have a high IQ.
No, and a lot of that high IQ stuff is some mad bullshit.
Yes, actually, it was based on a very, very, very small sample size of like teenage boys in the fucking 70s.
Yes,
Academic Agent actually did a deep dive on it.
He did. Check out A's coverage of that because yes, it was done on a small sample of boys in the 1970s, and has not been reconducted since then. Printmaster for €2 says physiognomy check. Oh, we all know. I think it was from the things she said and from the appearance. The physiognomy only confirms.
Having the Jewish Federation written in the background probably might have tipped one off.
Yeah, and I mean, she does have the big nose as well.
She looks like an emaciated ghost of a suicide. Yeah, that would probably do the trick.
Oof. The Mighty Biscuit for 5 says, I'm a passionate historian? But I can't get into historian. But I can't get into historical societies because boomers gatekeep them aggressively. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, and they do that. From what I've heard, at least.
You guys walk in there, throw a hail, and then just watch them scatter.
They'll certainly have a melty, yeah. San Jose Savage for 5 says, anybody else notice Benny subtly slipped the rainbow people in there? Yes, he did. Of course he did. It's all part of this gestalt, right? They always have to be like, oh, our persecution is just like that of the gays, right? And the transes. Whatever is in the common
How can we parasitize
gestalt
people?
at the time. Yes, to parasite upon other marginalized
we'll keep
groups.
Propping like an art dealer trying to use that shit to get around taxes. Oh, look at this thing I bought. Now prop it up in its value so I can then use it as a stepping stone.
There has been one series of studies that was conducted on that both developed the instrument for and tested it across multiple scenarios and multiple different samples on the idea of perpetual in-group victimhood orientation. It is the belief that one's group, and therefore also the self to which belongs to that group, are perpetual victims forever. And it was conducted by a guy, the lead author's name is Shori, Schori-Eyal, in Israel. And what did they find? Well, Israelis see themselves as perpetual victims. Now, the Palestinians do too, but that's because they're actual victims currently of an oppressive Israeli state.
Counterpoint, I know what they got up to when they were allowed to flee into Jordan. Fuck the pair of them.
Well, look, sure, I'm no great lover of the Palestinians outside of this.
You will know no peace in the Middle East until white hands.
They're Islamists. However, that being said, the Israelis have committed. I don't know if genocide is the right word, but I don't know what else you'd use to describe what they have done to the people of Palestine over the last 80 years. Gaza, whatever. The people who've been living there for the last 1,000. Now, they themselves are usurpers, but, in my opinion, but still, I mean, they have been systematically oppressing and genociding these people. But all of a sudden, but no, it's okay. See, that's not, no. When you learned about the Holocaust, you were supposed to learn that it's only bad when it applies to us, not when we do it to others. Sickening. Let's see. Woolgraith for 2 says the golem comes for their face. News at 11. Yeah. I know. Let's see, what next? Oh, some Christian infighting. This was kind of bizarre. This was an interesting interaction I saw. Alrighty, so...
It's never happened before. How was Ireland, by the way? It's been...
That would never... Yeah, no sectarian violence.
Out there.
So here's what Orrin McIntyre said. He says, he's responding to this woman, Sloane Rackmuth, who says, "The Blaze has lost all my trust by employing this anti-Jewish bigot. Judaism is no longer a legitimate religion and Jews don't exist. Glenn Beck, have you no guardrails?" What did Orrin McIntyre say? Jesus did not follow a religion. He was the religion. The Hebrew scriptures were not the only scriptures he knew. He was the Word made flesh, bringing the New Testament, a New Testament, because the Old was no longer sufficient. He was famously challenged by Jewish authorities for not keeping the Sabbath, which he replied that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Christ rejected the pedantic observation of law as a true path to God, which Judaism has become. Paul told us that there was Paul told us there was no longer Jew nor Greek, only the Christian church. Judaism is no longer a legitimate religion. It is no longer a path to the one true God. Saying that Christ was a Jew as opposed to a Christian is rejecting the gospel. It is inherently, and is simply false doctrine. So then Sloane has a melty. Orrin says, "This is such a fun lie. As a Christian, I believe Jesus is the way to the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except Christ." This is quoting scripture. Damn close. "No other religion is a legitimate path to God. Not Islam, not Buddhism, not even, or yes, even Judaism. If you think this is anti-Jewish bigotry, this is Christian scripture, then you believe that all about Christians and Christ Jesus, our Lord and Savior. If that's the statement you want to attack me with, feel free. I will not be backing away from scriptural truth. So please please your histrionic screeching." Wow, I had a hard time reading that. This guy, this is the response, because it is one of the crazier discourses. He responds to this moron, Oron, "Go fuck yourself, fuck your church, fuck your Christianity, fuck your Jesus, signed a Catholic." Well, where does this Catholic's true loyalties lie?
Can we get a zoom
fuck
in?
Your Jesus? On RAM here?
Zoom in on the face, and can we get enhance?
Let's get enhance here on RAM here a little bit. I mean, what are you thinking, lads? Oy vey!
Now, folks, he could be Coptic, but when have we ever liked them either?
Edgy Sphinx was a cop. Coptic. He is a cool guy.
He was sick.
No, Felsmuck for 1000 HUF. I don't know what currency that is, man. If you like stories about struggles at sea, check out Francis Charles Chichester. He crossed the Atlantic.
Yes. Forint.
Yes. Oh, there you go. I've never gotten Hungarian donation before. Thank you, man. I know about Chichester. He crossed the Atlantic alone in a sailing boat in 1960. Yeah, fascinating stuff. I love that kind of thing. Printmaster for €5 says, "Christians no longer following the old ways. Some white woman, won't you think of the juice?" Yes, I know. It's insufferable and infuriating, but what are you doing? Fuck your Jesus, which you can't even capitalize. Christianity, which you can't even capitalize. Signed a Catholic? Sure thing, Rabbi. Totally. My brother in Christ. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Did I put this in the wrong thing? One sec. I have this in the wrong section. 1 second.
Also, just so we're clear, the throne of St. Peter has been empty for quite some time.
It has. Okay. Yes. All right. Sorry, I had to reorganize something there real quick. All right. So speaking of little infighting, the Trump/Marjorie Taylor Greene breakup is in full force. Epstein files are just the latest fracture in Trump's MAGA coalition. This is from NPR, leftoid source. To the casual observer, Trump's withdrawal of his political endorsement of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling her a traitor after she questioned his opposition to releasing the Justice Department files on Jeffrey Epstein, may have come as a surprise. He did reverse course Sunday night, sort of. This is the problem with this Epstein stuff, is that it's every other day. It's like, yeah, do it. No, don't do it. No, we need this. And everyone's involved from from Trump to Mike Johnson all the way down. They keep changing their narrative on this as to whether or not they want to release these fucking files. And the truth is that, to me, and I'm curious about your opinion on this, Spoon, this reads as distractionary as shit. Spoon? Oh, no, he better not have already fell asleep. He might be gone for a minute, though.
No.
okay, what do you think? What do you make of the constant, just, like, I mean, every day as to what are we doing with these Epstein files? We're going to release them. We're not going to release them. We have to redact them.
They're not going to do shit.
It's just, do you agree it's distractionary?
Yeah, it's bollocks.
Cool. I'm always curious if you agree with me on that kind of stuff, because I have my read, you know, and then I look to you as a sanity check, Spoon.
Yeah, I get the feeling I'm like that for a lot of people.
Yeah, probably.
Like, this is just complete bullshit. Yeah. Somebody else just say this so I'm not going completely insane.
Yeah. Because, well, Spoon, you and I, have similar perspectives on things, I think. But in some sense, in terms of, I think, the conclusions we come to, but our perspectives inherently are quite different from, like, our basal judgment level. But if we come to different conclusions, therefore, that's why I'm always interested. He did reverse course Sunday, sort of, calling them on the House to pass a measure to release the files because we have nothing to hide. Well, all right. Fuck off, NPR. Green has been one of Trump's most vocal defenders on Capitol Hill since joining the House in 2021. She also recently apologized for toxic politics, warned Trump's attacks have jeopardized her family's safety, and reiterated her support for Trump's presidency. Yeah, that's the thing. She's like, I'm a little bit worried that Trump attacking me is going to put my family at risk, but has still remained loyal. Speaking at a press conference with survivors of Epstein's alleged abuse, Tuesday morning, Green called the fallout one of the most destructive things for people who fought to hold a corrupt government accountable. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart, she says. The only thing that will speak to the powerful, courageous women behind me, is when action is actually taken to release these files, and the American people won't tolerate any other BS. Here's the thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's actually well-meaning, but I also think she's a bit of an idiot.
Also, why are they calling Epstein's abuse alleged when he was convicted?
Yes, from NPR. Yeah. NPR is saying it's alleged abuse. It's NPR, is what it is. And what we're going to see as part of this pivot, which is not a smart move, I think, is that the left seems to be playing a little bit with the Epstein did nothing wrong. Kind of. They've not gone full into it, but they are flirting with this stuff. Which I think is an extraordinarily untactically sound move. So, yes, Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene have had this big split. He's talked a bunch of shit about her. and MTG was one of Trump's strongest supporters. She continued to support him even after he started to talk shit about her. And there's an interesting thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Despite what I said about her, and that I think she's well-meaning, but maybe a little dim, is that Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of very few Republicans who has not taken a cent from AIPAC.
Ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
What do you think? She's not taken money from these people. Maybe she's never been offered it, and that's why. Maybe if she was offered it, she would have taken it. But as it stands, as far as we know, she's not taking a penny from them.
Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them. Also business deals.
We'll get into that, by the way.
The Israeli
all the Israeli government deals.
And seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC.
Yes.
I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district and the American people. And so that's what I was referring to.
Yeah. And as far as we know, it's true. She does not take money from AIPAC. As far as we can tell, that is correct.
Massey.
Yes. The San Hoa, I just realized there's San Hoa Savage for 10 says, Jews and Christians worship different gods. John 8:19. They asked him, where is your father? You do not know me or my father, Jesus replied. If you knew me, you would know my father also. Yes, very true. Manny Yutsushai for 10 says, hey, don't call me a cynic, but I'm starting to think that these blood-drinking, Moloch-worshipping pedophiles who run our government might not have our best interests in mind. Weird, right? Oh my god, dude. Again, any criticisms of Marjorie Taylor Greene aside, she's not taken money from Israel. And it's very interesting that she has been cast out of MAGA because she doesn't want, because she's not being paid by Israel. Because she is saying stuff about the Epstein files. Questioning Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel, which I'm going to show you proof of, or evidence of later, from the leaks that have come out. So if you are expelled from MAGA for not being pro-Israel, then what is MAGA? It's MIGA, isn't it? Make Israel great again. I mean, what else is it? Look, you have to judge people by their demonstrable actions. Their revealed preference. Trump's revealed preference is for Israel over a ride or die. For a girl who rides till death. An FGT RTD. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's abandoned his FGT RTDs for Israel.
I see Migga with a hard R.
The Prip Master for 5 years says the nobility of Epstein did not violate the code of conduct. We made sure that the attire of the girls and the men was appropriate. Oof, dude. Oof. So here's again Benny Boy. Ben Shapiro claims Marjorie Taylor Greene supports the release of the Epstein files because she wants to destroy Trump's presidency. As we just talked about, she has been ride or die. She's like one of the biggest, staunchest supporters of Donald Trump. But sure.
If the Epstein list would destroy Donald Trump, he deserves to be destroyed.
And I agree. And I think Marjorie probably would agree as well. But tell us, Kippa boy, how she's a traitor.
After the House of Representatives reopened, Representative Adelita Grajova of Arizona became the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition. She joined all the other Democrats as well as 4 Republicans, including 2 who hate President Trump and would like to destroy his presidency. That would be Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my God.
As well as
and
Lauren
Thomas
Boebert
Massie.
and Nancy Mace.
and Lauren Boebert. Okay.
So yesterday, after the House of Representatives,
I'm not going to be so sure on Nancy Mace, but Lauren Boebert, come on, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are people. Again, I think a lot of people are a bit stupid, and that's maybe why they're outside of control, is because they're a bit too stupid. I don't know that for sure, but they don't rouse me with belief in their competence. They rouse me with their unwillingness to be controlled.
Reopened.
At least MTG does.
Adelita Grajova of Arizona.
Oh, why did it go back? No.
Became the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition. She joined all the other Democrats as well as 4 Republicans, including 2 who hate President Trump and would like to destroy.
Oh no, it was just that one clip. Sorry. My bad. I thought I was taking repeat pills. I was having a little Groundhog Day moment. Well, I don't know then, guys. Why do you think there's an issue here? Could it be because Epstein was working with Israel? This is drop site news. I've heard Anna Kasparian talking about this, so I went and checked it out because I saw Anna Kasparian talking about it. Let's go through them, shall we? This is from the new leaked emails. Epstein helped broker Israeli security agreement with Mongolia. Epstein used his political network and financial resources to help broker a security cooperation agreement between the governments of Israel and Mongolia, according to the trove of leaked emails from former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. This new set of emails between Barak and Epstein has largely been ignored by the mainstream press, but includes crucial new context on Epstein's operation. It's well known that Epstein had personal ties to Israel, including to senior political officials like Barak and Ehud Olmert, and that he donated to organizations like Friends of the IDF. But Epstein's activities in Mongolia show for the first time that he facilitated a deal that led to a security agreement between Israel and other nations. International, global fuckery. On behest of Israel. Epstein and the Mossad. How the sex trafficker helped Israel build a back channel to Russia amid the Syrian civil war. Hacked emails show how Epstein and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak tried to engineer a Russian-led solution to remove Bashar al-Assad. Epstein facilitated efforts to open a back channel between Israel and the Kremlin during the Syrian civil war, according to leaked emails from former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Trove of emails, again, between 2013 and 2016 reveal Epstein's successful efforts to secure a private meeting between Barack and Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss a Russian-brokered end to the conflict, including winning Russian support for a negotiated removal of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. 2. 3. Oh my god, dude, it keeps going. Jeffrey Epstein helped Israel sell a surveillance state to the Ivory Coast. Leaked emails show. Again. Epstein and Ehud Barak were specialists in war profiteering. At the end of his tenure as Israel's defense minister and after his supposed retirement, Barak embraced a role as salesman of Israeli security services to embattled governments, opening the door for Israeli intelligence leaders to shape the security apparatuses of several African nations, including the Ivory Coast. Quietly facilitating these efforts was Jeffrey Epstein, who was killed in jail in 2019. Epstein wrote at one point to Barak, quote, "With civil unrest exploding and the desperation of those in power, this is perfect for you." Barak replied, "You're right in a way, but not simple to transform into a cash flow." Transforming unrest into cash flow, in the case of the Ivory Coast, involved brokering deals between the Israeli state and the embattled West African nation. Continuing, Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Jeffrey Epstein in Manhattan. While the looming end of the U.S. government shutdown amid a deal in the Senate, the House will soon be swearing in Adelita Grijalva and her rightful seat from Arizona after a historic delay at the hands of Speaker Mike Johnson, taking, again, like, this is this outlet Anna Kasparian recommended. And because they've gone through these emails. Taking direction from President Trump, all aimed at blocking her from becoming the final signature needed to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. In mid-October, the House Oversight Committee released an interview with former U.S. prosecutor Alex Acosta, who told the panel that, contrary to widespread public reporting, he never told Steve Bannon that Epstein belonged to intelligence. Acosta denied ever discussing Epstein with Bannon and claimed to have no knowledge as to whether or not he was a member of the intelligence community. Yet, along with Acosta's interview, the House panel also released a new cache of documents from Epstein's estate containing direct evidence of Epstein's link to Israeli intelligence. Epstein's personal calendars revealed that a senior Israeli intelligence officer with personal ties to former CIA director Leon Panetta lived at Epstein's Manhattan apartment for several stretches between 2013 and 2016. When cross-referenced with leaked emails from the inbox of former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, a portrait emerges of Epstein at the nexus of high-ranking intelligence officials in both the U.S. and Israel. There's one more. Epstein pursued Swiss Rothschild Bank to finance Israeli cyber weapons empire. Anonymous sources, in 2019, just 11 days before Epstein was found dead in a Manhattan jail cell, connection to the Rothschild banking dynasty became the subject of major public controversy. Anonymous sources informed Bloomberg of a 2015 visit to Epstein's New York mansion by Baroness Ariane de Rothschild, the CEO of Edmond de Rothschild Group, a storied private bank and one of the largest Swiss financial institutions by assets under management. The bank's spokesperson denied any relationship to the notorious American sex trafficker. Epstein was found dead. 4 years later, after Epstein's meeting calendars were leaked to the Wall Street Journal, the bank finally admitted that the de Rothschilds had met with Epstein as part of the normal duties at the bank between 2013 and 2019. Epstein provided introductions to the U.S. finance leaders and law firms and provided tax and risk consulting, the bank disclosed, while also helping the de Rothschilds personally on a couple of occasions with advice on estate management. I think this is basically got it, though. Is there anything out here about this connection to Israel? I have to build a relationship to me. Where is that? Where's the Israeli cyber weapons empire stuff? Okay. Should be around here. I skimmed this earlier. Here we go. The Rothschild Baroness was frustrated by her reception with Herzliya and Epstein, related to Barak on June 12th email. "Are you in Geneva? You might want to tell Ariane, who hated the conference." Barak replied, "I'll be there next week. That's what happens when she first pays the checks rather than the other way around. I'll call you." After hanging up the phone, Epstein immediately emailed de Rothschild to set up a meeting with Barak. Epstein scheduled a breakfast with de Rothschild at de Rothschild's home on June 18th before Epstein privately emailed Barak to brief him. "She has a real problem with her foundation and the Israeli government. I will need 20 minutes of your time to brief you." After the meeting, Epstein pinged Barak with an update writing, ? Excuse me. Barak asked for numbers to call so they could speak on the phone. It is unclear what, if any, the help Barak could have offered to assist the Rothschild in the foundation's tax dispute. The conflict with the Israeli government escalated over the following year. In May 2015, de Rothschild explained in an interview that her husband was refusing to visit the country in protest over the matter. It's a shame there's a misunderstanding about what we do and how we do it. It is insulting to the state that the state cast doubt on us, whatever. Finally, in 2018, the Rothschild Foundation and the Israeli government announced that they had reached a new pact. As part of the deal, the foundation agreed to invest over $200 million in educational grants in Israel, while releasing land to build 2,000 homes at the seaside town of Or Akiva, or nearly exclusively Jewish community. The extent of the evidence of the interaction and collusion between Jeffrey Epstein and the Israeli state is insurmountable. So yeah, I think it's worth looking into. Sanoa Savage for 5 says, been reading us Mossad's list. Yes, indeed. Mr. Deadpool 12 for 5 says, but guys, never forget 9/11, my greatest ally. I have shekels to spare, says Shapiro. I don't think it's going to work anymore. Critmaster for 5 euros says, even his hairline looks fake. If I were to flick Ben's hat off, I expect to see a full bald head. He's certainly got,
I was bringing up, I didn't want to bring up the hair plugs, but it looks like hair plugs. I didn't
It does look
want
a bit
to
like
say,
plugs.
'cause, you know,
It does look a bit like plugs.
glass houses and all that.
Oof. Mr. Deadpool 12 for 5 says, for 2,000 years, I was promised the land of milk and honey. Now, where are those Khazar mommy milkers? Indeed, sir. And Sir Sasquatch for 5 says, I work in HVAC supply. I have to call the feds on a truck driver because we had to communicate via Google Translate. ICE needs to ramp it up. That's insane. But yes, indeed. That you have to communicate via Google Translate with someone driving a truck. So, let's get into the Epstein stuff, since this is the transitionary sort of phase here. Now, I have to go use the restroom. Spoon. Can this go away, this ad that's not even loading? There we go. Okay. So, this is about the Bubba stuff. Are you ready to read about
the
Bubba?
Donica Lewinsky thing?
The Donica Lewinsky scandal. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Actually, I might have to grab a drink, so it might be a little bit longer. But have at it. I've been talking for a long time about that connection between Epstein and Israel. Sorry for talking too much. I wanted to get it out. I'll be right back.
Was Mark Epstein referring to a horse named Bubba in an email to his brother Jeffrey Epstein when he wrote, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba? No, that's not true. A spokesperson for Mark Epstein told Lead Stories in a phone call the 2018 message was not about a horse. The claim that it was a horse spread across social media platforms soon after Mark Epstein gave a statement to Lead Stories ruling out viral claims that Bubba was a reference to former President Bill Clinton. Epstein also said it was a humorous private exchange between two brothers. That's kind of a creepy exchange. The person claimed...
Hebrews.
The claim appeared on several platforms starting on November the 15th, 2025, including in a post archived here, published on X on November 15th, 2025. The caption read, hashtag marker and hashtag Trump. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Bill Clinton was not the only one called Bubba. Ghislaine Maxwell's horse was also named Bubba. Fuck off, that's not real.
Can I scroll down? Or because I have to go grab a drink.
Oh,
as
I
well.
know.
Okay. Did you read this? Bear Bad News. Clinton was the only one called Bubba, the horse. Yeah.
As the social media claims that the Bubba reference was about Bill Clinton began spreading after the 2018 email thread between the Epstein brothers was discovered among the 23,000 emails released by the House GOP Oversight Committee in November of 2025. It referenced Donnie T, your boy Donnie, as well as Trump. Mark Epstein's spokesperson sent a statement from Epstein to Lead Stories on November the 15th, 2025, saying it was a humorous private exchange between two brothers and that the Bubba reference was not about Bill Clinton. Immediately after Lead Stories fact-checked the Bill Clinton claim, the speculation shifted to claims that Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to sexually abuse minors, had a horse named Bubba and that the email was a reference to the horse. Hey, look! Vorsh, has something in common with Trump now, apparently.
Except, apart from BMI.
That's cheeky.
Also, yeah, it's clearly like an inside joke between two people. I don't think it bears any substance.
No, of course not.
Because if this was a piece of blackmail material, firstly,
why the hell would you share
having it? And secondly, you would not reference it very flippantly.
All the news that really matters to you, like sensationalist bullshit.
This is just fucking tears.
Aiden, stop pouring vodka.
Okay. So what do we make about the... Sorry, can I just go back? What do we make about the Bubba allegations, or should I keep going?
That's just bullshit.
It's bullshit,
Ignore that, Frank. It's a bunch of liberal bullshit.
Liberal bullshit. Look, the idea... Okay. I felt the same way about this claim that I did when they said that Trump got pissed on by all the Ukrainian hookers, you know what I mean?
Well,
look,
no, it was pissing on the Obama bit or some shit.
Russians. Or yeah, but or it was Russian hookers. Or was it Ukrainian? Whatever. Trump is a germaphobe. I think Trump like a lot of things. And maybe even gay. I have a difficult time believing that. But Bill Clinton's penis has to be one of the most diseased things on Earth. I have a difficult time imagining that Trump, a germaphobe, would have gone anywhere near it.
Well, conversely, like horses are also kind of infamous for their poor genital health.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny. It is funny. And I would rather that be the truth, and that's why Trump's reactions to this have been schizophrenic, rather than that he's a pederast. But, I don't think it's probably true. Rap Bartholomew Cheesington for 5 says, do Jews want to bring God back to the world? Are they jealous God doesn't love only them or reclaim chosen status? Curious now. I don't know. I think it depends on the Jew that you ask.
I think the average one is probably thinking to themselves, if I keep heaping corpses up, eventually I can reach heaven.
Well, they generally don't believe anyone. I mean, they are the chosen people from their perspective. God doesn't love Christians. Christians are wrong, you know, from their perspective. And they can't be right because there is only one God, and that's their God. No. I mean, well, it depends when you actually read, you know, the Torah. There's certainly reference to other gods that Yahweh seems to do battle with, which is a very different sort of God than the faith that Christ taught. Just saying. Stolen Lich for 100 ARS says, roses are red, violets are blue. Epstein was Mossad. That much is true. Indeed. True woo woo. Friend. All right. So they can't release... for a while it was like, well, we can't release them again for this reason or the other. What the fuck? What are you... Oh, sorry. It, like, copied my entire document for some reason. Here we go. So, as Calvin did point out here correctly, Bondi said the Epstein files were on her desk. Then Bondi and Patel released Phase 1 to a bunch of Zionist influencers, which was all redacted.
It was cringe, man.
Yes, it was very cringe. Trump then said the files were a hoax. Bondi then said there never were any files. And now Johnson says the files are a national security risk. The messaging around this has been the sloppiest... disastrous, yes. Yeah. Right word, Spoon, exactly. Disastrous.
You're welcome.
The Printmaster for 5 years says, I'm on that sleep-deprived dopamine hit, too, so I like to hear more Aiden talk. First time I demand more woman talk. Oh, shit, sorry, man. Get some sleep, dude, but I'm glad to be entertaining you while you're sleep-deprived, hopefully. So this is before this was a couple days ago, but this was what Johnson then said, is that, well, we can't release it. And by the way, Calvin didn't really put it out there in his list of events, but there was also a narrative for a while that, no, we can't release the files because, again, it's potentially damaging to victims. And so that made sense. Oh, there's private information, personally identifying information. Now they've cleared it as being personally identifying information, but somehow it's a national security risk. Excuse me?
Number 5, national security concerns, okay? The discharge requires the Attorney General to release within 30 days, quote, classified information to the maximum extent possible. This ignores the principle that declassification should always rest, and always has rested, with the agency that originated the intelligence. Why? So that they can protect their critical sources and methods. It is incredibly dangerous to demand that officials or employees of the DOJ declassify materials that originated in other agencies, in intelligence agencies.
What the fuck? What material could possibly be? That's even more damning. Even saying this, Mike, is so much more damning to imply there's information in Jeffrey Epstein's emails and his correspondence that is a threat to United States national security. Don't you recognize the insane tell on yourself that is? And yes, why is Johnson even commenting on the Epstein files? Good point, Batosai. Printmaster for 5 says, oh no, sorry, I got that one. Thank you, man. Mr. Deadpool 12 for 5 says, we need to start a meme. You are not the chosen people. Yeah, perhaps. 1 second here. Oh, sorry, Bill came upstairs. I was wondering what was up. He's looking for some batteries. I'm guessing something died. So, Congress has now voted to basically put it in Trump's hands. We'll see how this goes, because this is fairly recent. What do you think of this, or what do you make of it, Spoon? Is he gonna... What's gonna happen here? Fuck off, BBC.
Absolutely fuck all.
I agree. Congress votes to send Epstein files bill to Trump. And this is bizarre, too, because after all of the sort of hand-wringing and kicking the can down the road, all of a sudden they went, okay, well, we're gonna do it. At a 427 to 1 vote. When they just could not agree for a month and a half, or damn near, over anything, at least in terms of the SNAP benefits and the welfare spending, etc., over a bill that was only going to temporarily maintain the exact same spending budget. But everyone voted, all of a sudden, in something they supposedly shouldn't agree on, to release the Epstein files. They couldn't agree on this earlier this year. They couldn't agree on this last year. Why all of a sudden are they all in agreement that now is the time to release the Epstein files? We're going to talk about the one guy who voted against it. Because he says it's principled, but we'll look into it. I think maybe he just didn't get the memo. Because to me, that looks like someone didn't get the fucking memo. Either that or there's one person who's principled. And from his description, I don't think he's principled. By the way, there could be principled people in here as well. I think there probably are a lot of them. But a lot of these, the swing votes, people who have switched in their opinion on this, those are the ones you want to look at. Why have they suddenly decided that, oh, now we can release the Epstein files? Why is it a useful distraction right now? Why all of a sudden now has Congress unilaterally decided, okay, now we want the Epstein files? Manu Yutsushai for 2 says, alas, these evil days should be mine. Oof, man. They are evil days, though, for sure. Printmaster for 2 says, the bill was promised to us 3,000 years later. Yeah, it was promised many years ago, indeed. Alrighty. So... But before we get to that, and some of the stuff about what's happened around this Epstein files nonsense, there's been some strange stuff around it as well. Is that Trump, for example, not obviously a fan of the press, threatened to pull ABC's news license over asking a question about Epstein. So, during an Oval Office meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince, Bruce asked why Trump had not simply decided to direct the Justice Department, the Department of Justice, to release the files, which he has the power to do, leading Trump to criticize her tone and question whether the FCC should revoke ABC's news broadcasting license. The question came as House Representatives planned to vote on whether to release the files on Tuesday. It's not a question that I mind, it's your attitude. It seems like you do mind the question, Dawn. I think you're a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions, Trump said. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask the same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psyched you over at ABC. You're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and terrible reporter. Fuck off, Trump. I actually asked you a real question. What are you gonna do with the Epstein files stuff? It's so bizarre how they have constantly had this reaction to the Epstein files. Yeah, he'd already signed it, but it was like up until the point he's still acting like this. Don't ask me questions about this Epstein thing. You're sending very counterintuitive messaging. When you're about to sign this thing to release these documents, allegedly, don't ask me these questions. I'm sorry. I've supported Donald Trump a lot. This looks And it has looked, since the beginning, suspicious as fuck, which has made me ask a lot of questions as to why is the administration acting this way? Why are the Democrats also acting insane around this? I think they're all fucking complicit, as I think the reality of it. They're all trying to save their own asses. Here's Trump's truth. He said, now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax, involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their own disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with their great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement in the relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, J.P. Morgan Chase, and many others and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam with all arrows pointing at the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein on his island. Stay tuned. Thanks, Trump. Throwing a bunch of just shit. Throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. What it looks like to me. As to the sole dissenting person on that vote, it was a Republican. It was this guy. This is Representative Clay Higgs. He says, I have been a principled no on this bill from the beginning. What was wrong with the bill 3 months ago is still wrong today. It abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure in America. I don't really see that. As written, this bill reveals and injures thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people who provided alibis, family members, etc. If enacted in its current form, this type of broad reveal of criminal investigative files released to a rabid media will absolutely result in innocent people being hurt. Not by my vote. The Oversight Committee is conducting a thorough investigation that has already released well over 60,000 pages of documents from the Epstein case. That effort will continue in a manner that provides all due protections for innocent Americans. If the Senate amends the bill to properly address privacy of the victims and other Americans who are named but not criminally implicated, then I will vote for the bill when it comes back around to the House. Except again, as the Twitter context, Higgins claims misrepresents HR 4405. The bill includes redactions for victims and uninvolved individuals. Mask explained victims can't release names due to lawsuits forcing them into homelessness, and the petition was not eligible 3 months ago. So the one guy who is dissenting on what appeared to, from the vote, on what appeared to be, from his description, moral and ethical grounds, is not accurate. Or is he being fact-checked here because of something else? That's kind of my question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. A little strange. The one guy who goes against it, and it's like, no, trust me, we're going to redact them. I do think they are redacted, by the way. I just don't, basically my point is I don't trust this guy that he's principled, because I don't trust anyone who is a politician to be principled. The San Jose Savage for 5 says, simplest explanation, everyone is blackmailed and doing as their handlers tell them. I think that's probably also largely the correct one. Maybe this guy's handler just didn't tell him what to do. So Jen, basically what it's looking like now too is that all these people are terrified of Trump. Which is funny because they have been so brazen for the last 8 years. And for some strange reason, all of a sudden, all of these media talking heads start to look like they're freaking the fuck out as it concerns discussing this Epstein case. I find this to be very strange because none of these people had any problem talking mad shit and making shit up in the past. All of a sudden, they seem afraid as it concerns discussing the Epstein files.
In supporting what Donald Trump is doing.
You're talking about the other predators out there, in addition to Trump.
The other predators, in addition to Trump, says Jen Psaki, former White House secretary, press secretary.
I mean, I'm not saying he don't know all the details about that. I just mean in addition to.
She would never have done this on any other subject. She would have just moved on and been like, yeah, Trump's a pedophile, Trump's a predator. But for whatever reason, now that this kind of stuff is being pushed to the forefront in terms of its usefulness as a political distraction or whatever it is, Jen Psaki's all of a sudden covering her ass? She wouldn't have given a fuck about implying that Trump was a pedophile. I don't think so, at least.
What we've learned about Epstein and others, there's other predators out there.
There are, and we have to remember that Alex Acosta, when he...
And she did reiterate, other predators, which implies intrinsically that Trump is one. But there's more lawsuit avoidance, not just that.
accused of any crimes. The president has not been accused of any crimes or wrongdoing as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein or these files, even with these emails being released. That's one thing that we need to make clear. But
Yet.
One thing about...
Yes, okay.
Not been charged yet. Yes.
Yeah, there's no accusations, though, of any wrongdoing so far.
It does appear, though, I agree this is sort of this law avoidance or lawsuit avoidance stuff, where it's like, they want to say these things, they want to call him a pedophile, but they don't want to get in trouble for it. However, what's bizarre about this is that they didn't used to be this tiptoey with stuff. Why are they being so tiptoey? At the same time, they're platforming Mark Epstein. And this is supposed to be damning evidence, and this is part of the strange, as I said, sort of pivot here, where the left is now going, believe all Epsteins. Or at least
Mark
believe
Epstein,
Mark.
who was Jeffrey Epstein's brother.
Mark Epstein, who was Jeffrey Epstein's brother and working in an office. So it's Half-Life, Full-Life Consequences reference.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source.
Let's listen and believe. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But you know who I will not listen to as a source on this of truth? Is Mark Epstein. But suddenly, for some reason, the left is now pro-Epstein. It's so fucking bizarre. This is at the Democrats on Twitter. Breaking. Newly released emails showed Jeffrey Epstein thought Trump was one of the worst people he knew. Not one decent cell in his body. He went on to describe Trump with one word. Dangerous. We should listen to Jeffrey Epstein. If Mark wasn't enough for you, here's Jeff himself. Trump's dangerous. He's the worst person I knew. Worst person I know. We should fucking listen to Jeffrey Epstein on this. What is this? This is so fucking bizarre. Why would you tweet this? Genuinely, why would you tweet this? Let's listen to Jeff Epstein's evaluation of Trump's character. I think that they are just flailing. They don't know what to do. And this is super incredible evidence of flailing. This is Stacey Plaskett just gonna casually talk about her texting with Jeffrey Epstein.
But like many constituents, individuals get your phone number, they text.
What? Many constituents, individual voters get your phone number and text you? You texting any other constituents?
You about issues, they speak with you. I have spoken with him about issues that are relevant, things that are going on in the Virgin Islands and elsewhere around the country.
Right, but on that day that we're talking about, you initiated the text exchange at 7:55 in the morning. So why were you even texting with Epstein?
Well, yeah, you initiated the text exchange. Bitch, why were you texting Jeff Epstein first thing in the morning? Pretty early, at least.
At the time, he was a known sex offender then.
Sure.
After he was a known sex offender.
No, I explained to people, I've been a prosecutor for many years. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people who have information that are not your friends, that you use to get information to get at the truth. But like...
What? Printmaster for 5 says we're experiencing peak Eden brain outcompeting the male brain. I think everyone else is tired, I think, honestly. I'll try to get through this here. Let's see. Because I mean, guys, chime in whenever. I'm on a roll, I guess, just covering the news topics. But, okay, here we go. Also, House Democrat minority whip Catherine Clark defends Stacey Plaskett for texting Epstein while he was a convicted sex offender, dodges whether she should have texted him too. This is what I'm saying. This is bizarre. They are signaling their allegiance and alliance with Jeffrey Epstein while using Jeffrey Epstein's alleged connections to Trump to attack him. This is the most chaotic, schizophrenic political narrative I've seen in a while. Like, I don't even know I think this seems actually uncoordinated for it to be this sloppy.
Text Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing.
But it has to be coordinated because it's all happening simultaneous to a certain extent. It just seems that people don't know what to do with it. Everyone is terrified of this information because nobody on Earth wants to be associated with a child trafficking nonce. So it's making them all act irrationally.
You know, I take Stacey Plaskett at her word, and
Would you have done the same thing?
I don't. I also agree with her that Jeffrey Epstein is reprehensible, and that's her word, and I agree with her.
Yeah, but she was texting him first thing in the morning, asking him questions. So it sounds like you agree. Yeah, I would also be texting Jeffrey Epstein. It's sickening, these people. Bill, are you at least awake?
Yep.
Okay. So here's Hakeem Jeffries. Also on what Stacey Plaskett said there about texting Jeffrey Epstein in the early morning, talking to him about all kinds of stuff.
She was arguing her texts with Jeffrey Epstein were not illegal, but in your view, were they appropriate?
Well, Stacey Plaskett is not accused of violating any House rule, any law, any statute.
He was texting with a convicted pedophile, or at least someone who was had been exposed for this. I don't think he was convicted yet, but he was a known pedophile who ran a sex trafficking ring. She was texting him first thing in the morning, asking about his political opinions. The fuck? Who cares if it's against the law? It's extremely, irrevocably, unequivocably, in your words, immoral.
And she's clearly and unequivocally denounced Jeffrey Epstein. And I think what the survivors fought for today is the type of transparency that came out of the House, went through the Senate, and is now on its way to Donald Trump's desk, where hopefully he'll sign it into law. Because at the end of the day, all the American people are asking for is just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, which is why these Epstein files that...
I do agree. They've got to scrub these through. What we're going to end up seeing is some more heavily redacted shit with everybody's important names cut out of it. It's going to be heavily curated.
It's probably just going to be completely fabricated.
Why not? Why would they tell the truth to anybody?
There's no impetus. No one knows what to expect. There's no like maybe some people got like the old versions that were very heavily redacted, but those are probably complete fabrications.
Well, those are released, but they were 99% redacted, just all black bars.
His administration has been hiding for months need to be released.
But do you think it was appropriate for her to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein 11 years after he pleaded guilty?
I mean, I have not had a...
Oh, right. So it was 11 years after he pleaded guilty. Yeah. So that's insane. So he was convicted at the time. That's unbelievable. What the fuck are you doing? Why was he allowed to text? And what the fuck?
Conversation with Stacey Plaskett to discuss this issue because we've been focused today on making sure that there was a decisive vote as it related to the Epstein files and the release. I'm thankful.
No answer. No answer.
Of Representative Massey, of Ro Khanna, but most importantly, the survivors.
Do you plan to talk to her about it?
It's literally a non-answer. Non-answer as to whether or not it was appropriate to be texting Jeff Epstein after he confessed to sex trafficking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
About it?
I think that we successfully defeated a resolution that lacked any basis, was not credible, and was being brought by an individual who was trying to weaponize this issue to reinvigorate his own failed gubernatorial campaign in South Carolina. It was rejected on a...
Look, we get it. That's the most non-answer ever. Just move on to some other shit. Let's talk about something else. Anything other than the fact that she's texting Jeff Epstein at 8 o'clock in the morning. Printmaster for €5 says, Aiden, please, I'm following the old woman's words and are already confronting me with a whole worldview. My brain don't braining. It's unbelievable. Just what these people are doing. And it's so transparent. It's so transparent. Well, let's just finish this. Another 30 seconds.
On the floor today, that's the end of the story.
No, it's not.
If you personally believe messaging.
What's this woman's name? Caitlin something? Caitlin Collins, Caitlin Johnston, something like that. I feel like her name's Caitlin. Who is of course CNN talking head. She is just asking him a straight up question. Is it appropriate to be texting known child sex offender and predator Jeff Epstein at 8 o'clock in the morning about his political takes?
With Jeffrey Epstein, who is at that point a registered sex offender, is appropriate for a member of the House Democratic Caucus?
That's the third time you've asked me this question, and I'm going to
answer
give you
it.
the same exact answer.
You didn't answer it.
Our focus today is on making sure.
Oh my God! Just shut up, Hakeem. Good God. So Hakeem Jeffries invited Epstein to a dinner to solicit money from him in 2013 after Epstein was also convicted for procuring child prostitution. You can see it here. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled to announce that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Let me open this on the tab, actually. Make it bigger. One of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama and a progressive voice for the people of New York City. New York One did a profile piece about his work on the vitally important budget and judiciary committees in Washington. You can watch the video here or read the text below. Hakeem is committed to electing a Democratic majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in the DSCC fundraising dinner with President Obama this coming Monday night. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you would like to get involved with the dinner or would like to get an opportunity to know Hakeem better. He's an impressive guy who will be a progressive voice in New York politics for years to come. Petitioning Jeff Epstein for donations to support Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, Timu Obama indeed, right? Timu Obama indeed. And more importantly, or something that is at least interesting about this, is that why wasn't, look, pin Trump on this. I don't know what's going on with Trump and his involvement here. But it is fascinating that all of a sudden this nearly unanimous vote to release this stuff happens now, not under Biden. Why didn't it happen under Biden? This is from one of the members of the squad here. What's her name again? I mean, Presley.
Only squad you should be listening to is the Sweetie Squad.
The Sweetie Squad, indeed.
Clamor in the Biden administration to make sure that these files were released.
Well, I can't speak to that. What I will say is Donald Trump ran on...
Why didn't Biden release them? Can't speak to that. Okay.
On the release of the Epstein files.
But
Ariana.
Jeffrey Epstein died in a jail cell in 2019. Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell, who you referred to, was prosecuted, convicted in 2021. But President Biden was in office, Democrats were in office, and could have pushed for this very argument to make sure that survivors were honored.
Sure. And all I'm saying is that...
Okay, I feel like I should have been more of that clip, but you can tell she's uncomfortable. You can tell she's uncomfortable as fuck. Sure. Well, you didn't, though, did you? The Biden admin didn't pursue any of this, even though they knew about it the entire time. This whole thing, all this stuff is decades old. I'm not saying it shouldn't be uncovered, but it's curious. I have to take note when all of a sudden the political machine aligns itself across party lines. Very curious. Cole Summers for 2 says, "Ooze your daddy fund, and even CNN won't let it go." Oof. Thank you, man. Printmaster for 5 says, Hakeem is showing the one-sided control and the tired eyes, autism given a bad name. Yeah, well, maybe he's autistic, but that was despicable, what he did there. Here's a good question. Here is a good question indeed. Regarding, again, the Democrats and why, good question being asked of Chuck Schumer here. Why didn't you guys pursue this so vociferously under Biden?
Just, I guess, a question that's out there. Why wouldn't they have been released the last 4 years when President Biden was in office?
Well, that's the question every American is asking. Not every American, but so many Americans are asking. What the hell is he hiding?
Oh my God, masterful pivot! He asks him Chuck gets asked about Biden, and then just goes, "Yeah, that's the question we're all asking. What is Trump hiding?" What?
Why doesn't he want them released? When you don't want something like this released, when even a whole lot of Republicans are calling for the release, his own party members, people ask the question, what's he hiding?
That was a masterful little bit of pill pull there, wasn't it, Chuck? Good God. Now, the funniest thing, and unfortunately the part that's dominated the news cycle about this, and it's probably impartially dominated because it's funny, and also because the Democrats are freaking out about it, but it's performative freak out, is that Trump called some reporter Miss Piggy or something. Here it is.
Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
Incriminating in the file,
Venezuela, sir.
Okay. There was some confusion that maybe the journalist he was talking to's name was Peggy. It's not. He did just call her Peggy. No, I looked into it, Arden. It is not. It's not Peggy. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm fairly sure the woman he's referring to and pointed at is not named Peggy. Or excuse me, Peggy. I did look into that. I don't think that's the case. I really think he did just call her Peggy. He may have gotten her confused with Peggy and thought it was the other journalist who I think was there, but not who he was pointing at. I think that's probably the most likely explanation, is he just got her confused with the woman named Peggy. However, I also like the idea that he just called her a pig straight to her face. That's pretty funny. Not happy with Trump, though. So, we're moving more from the Epstein file specifically into some woman moments. Because, as usual, Jasmine Crockett, who puts on a fake, and this is confirmed, absolutely fake, and put upon black ghetto Ebonics accent. African American
segment.
Perceived African American vernacular English.
Stated rope next segment.
Here's her take on it.
Defense over Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed.
Isn't it also insane that she's got to explain to her, like, what's going on first? Because she knows that this bitch, Jasmine Crockett, has no idea. It's like, let me just give you the quick rundown first, because I know that you probably aren't kept up to date on this.
The text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Awkward pause.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly.
Did you? Now, Jasmine.
The NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
Okay.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there.
Now, there's a bit of a problem with this, that she said on the floor. That's not the same Jeffrey Epstein.
I was going to ask that.
It's a doctor who's not the same guy.
There's an unfortunate fucker, isn't there?
Is not the same guy, but she spent all morning having her team, all 20 minutes, having her team prep to find this. Who found out?
Shades of the time Onision tried to sue the wrong Chris Hansen.
Yes. Oh my god, that's what it is. It is very much Onision tries to sue the wrong Chris Hansen. Just like sends legal threats to some random dude. I think also in like New England or something, thinking that it was
some
like, Chris
dude in
Hansen.
men's going, bruh. What the fuck?
Yeah, just some random guy named Chris Hansen was like, "What the fuck? Why am I being sent legal threats from some?"
I knew this would come up one day.
Yeah, he knew what he did. That Chris Hansen knew what he did. He was probably freaking out. I don't know what he did, but yeah. So they just found that a donor, these people, was named Jeffrey Epstein. Not the same Jeffrey Epstein, however. And she just ran with it. It is clown world stuff. But sometimes it does produce something so funny. Like, I mean, they've promoted these people who are completely incompetent into positions of power, and then don't know what to do when they do retarded shit. Well, you put incompetent people there.
He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct?
Unfortunate indeed.
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my god!
When you make a donation, your picture is not there, and because they decided to spring this on.
This is the most non-accountability. It's just peak, isn't it? Well, to be fair, I didn't say it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just a Jeffrey Epstein. And they didn't have a picture for me to look at, so I couldn't tell. Look at how wonk-eyed her face is, too. I mean, I think she's in the middle of a blink, but Jesus.
Us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially
you want to think about it.
That they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team...
Yeah, they didn't go through someone who is not the Jeffrey Epstein in question to look for other Jeffrey Epsteins. So you did a Google, she did a Google, her team did a Google, and they found another Jeffrey Epstein who donated. This is peak distractionary politics, guys. Look at this shit they put out there.
What they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
She says, defending her literally going out there and telling a lie.
I mean, to be fair, we call it distractionary politics and we spend 2 hours on it. Has it not been
Well,
successful?
this is the news cycle right now, so I have nothing else to cover. I mean, this is unfortunately it, because this is what's because it's all that's out right now. This is what's being promoted. But at least I'm pointing out it's distractionary. Printmaster for another 10 euros says, have to go to bed now. I enjoyed this woman cooking. She really cooked, pushed away all the men from the fire pit. Aiden built the base longhouse. I don't know, man, but thank you. Thank you, man. Good night as well, dude. We'll get through this. We got more woman moments, and we got some slop.
Not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein.
What was that?
I've got to go reasonably soon.
Oh, right, you do have to go, because Bill's got to do something. Actually, right. Bill, you need to leave. Oh, you got an hour. Okay, we'll be done by then.
10, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's 1:30 in the morning here.
All right.
It's just endless tripe.
Yeah, and
you know what?
Barely able to
okay.
keep my eyes open.
All right. Can I do my? All right. I want to do 2 stories. Whatever. We get the Jeffrey Epstein shit. Let me just make fun of Jasmine Crockett. We'll get through it. We get it. She's dumb. I'll get through it here in the next. Yeah, 15. I'll get it. Bill, if that's all right.
Okay.
Second, 2011. Republicans were saying that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide.
Well, she like what?
She looks like she's part of the furniture when compared to the chair behind.
Well, look at the hair. Yeah, Jesus Christ. She
she used to be part of the farm equipment.
God damn, dude.
Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been very...
And yes, they cut her name out as victim, even though she's dead.
A very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing.
She did not?
What do you make of that, and can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take...
No, but we know who it was, because we have the unredacted ones. It's Virginia Giuffre.
The Republicans' word.
It's so hilarious they bring this woman on. I almost said a different word. They bring this woman on to just be stupid. It's so tiresome.
To be fair, you let me on.
Oh, Bill, do not compare yourself to Jasmine Crockett.
It takes a lot of substance abuse to get me to that level, but there we go.
Well, I mean, maybe if you totally fried your brain cells, maybe you could try to reenact it, but I don't know how fucked up you'd have to be to try and reenact us.
Please see the episode with the VTuber.
Oh, true.
That's what happens when you drink with a stomach ulcer.
Oh.
Why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No. I understand.
Okay.
But
it sounds like you don't understand that, Jasmine. It was the Democrats who redacted the name of the known person, Virginia Giuffre.
Like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims.
Well, she's dead. And we know it's her. Democrats still redacted it. Again, it's schizophrenic.
And obviously, she wrote a book. She told her truth.
This isn't even...
I don't know, man. Like, they are not sending their best. They are absolutely not sending their best. What is this? I just have this called what the fuck. What is this? Oh, this is a genuine woman moment. So, they will take your unused IVF babies, the eggs that are in storage, some of which may have been fertilized, actually, and make it into a little jewel for you to put on your, to a keepsake. Made out of your fertilized eggs, if not your eggs. This is so weird. Dude, women, what are we doing, ladies? Come on. There's also this DoorDash driver story, which is insane. This woman acted like she was abused because she walked into some guy's house when he said to leave it on the front step. She was told to leave the delivery at the door, and instead walks in on a guy, in his privacy of his home, passed out, and then acts like she's a victim.
She's up on charges now for distributing this.
Yes.
Rightly
she was not told to open the door. It's fucked up that you opened the fucking door.
She broke and entered and made illegal pornography of this person.
Saw a guy asleep, even though he had instructions
I'm sorry,
to leave it
that's
at the
sexual
door.
assault. She should have been up on sexual assault charges.
She says the door was wide open, but now this is no. I think that's been totally contested.
She opened the fucking door.
She opened the door, saw a guy naked on his couch, and filmed him, and is pretending that she is the fucking victim. Women. Many such cases. I chose to do this. I'm the victim. Here's a fucking another one, by the way. Speaking of Teen Vogue.
Physiognomy never misses, boys.
It does not. But, I mean, she really doesn't like Chucky. It's unbelievable. Hasselhoff 5 says, I assure you I'm not lying. I'm just incompetent. Well, it does appear to be a theme, friend. It really does. So this person was a writer-editor at Teen Vogue. Teen Vogue is under a lot of financial issues. Teen Vogue is when I asked my friend, who suddenly switched, as I talked about earlier, from being a normal human being into being a left-wing ideologue, told me that the only source of news she trusted was Teen Vogue. Teen Vogue, despite being a young women's, as teen is in the title, fashion magazine, at some point became a far left, propaganda outlet. And here this person who wrote for them and was an editor for them is going to explain why it's everyone's fault, while actually explaining why it's her fault that the magazine is failing.
And until last Monday, I was the politics section at Teen Vogue. I was the only one left, so I was the one-person politics section of Teen Vogue. On November 3rd...
Really look like Chucky. It's unbelievable.
Itself.
Well, if you already look like this, why would you wear the fucking overalls and the red shirt? You idiot! Or does she know what she's doing? It's crazy.
Features director, as well as our identity editor. Ayana Ishmael, our
Ew.
style editor. Caitlin McNabb, our culture editor. Our art team, B. Oyster, and Emily Zaremis.
These people aren't real. And B. Oyster.
All laid off by Condé Nast in the restructuring of Teen Vogue and folding it into Vogue.
Yeah, but why'd that happen?
Of the 8 of us who were laid off last week, 5 were women of color, 2 were the only remaining black staffers on the editorial staff at Teen.
Wow, do you think maybe that they had hired a bunch of DEI pieces of shit who, the only people that you convince, are liabilities, and the only people you convince are, I mean, apparently people like my friend.
But no, it's
who are
not she
lunatics.
stayed. She didn't leave in solidarity.
No, she didn't leave in solidarity. She got fired.
Vogue. I was the only
Because they drove the magazine into the dirt and made it completely unprofitable. Oh, of course, they're trans. Okay, you're a woman.
only trans staffer, and I was laid off. And one of my proudest memories, one of the things I was proudest of about working at Teen Vogue was having leadership that was women of color consecutively for several years, a rarity in this building.
I mean, again, she's explaining why she got fired. Because they created a company that was fundamentally unprofitable. It's astonishing.
Vogue recently had its 20th birthday, but many of you probably learned about us in 2016 under the first Trump administration, where people became aware of our willingness to speak truth to power, to fact check our speech.
You mean your willingness to propagandize to extreme degrees. In a magazine that only is read by young white women, for the most part. Yeah.
And to resolutely clarify what is happening in the
Or old white women who haven't got with the program. Yeah.
From Palestine to trans rights, campus organizing, you name it, we were willing to talk about it.
Yeah, and that's why your shit's now defunct. I'm trying to get out of here.
You know the long delays there where they're waiting for
Yeah.
the prompters in the crowd to spread the cheer?
Yes, yeah, waiting, cheer, please clap. Please
It's always
clap.
the same exact
Yes.
cheer at the start.
Dean's 51, who's been a member for 11 months, says, I can't believe Nick Gurr was on the Epstein list. I know, none of us could have expected that of Nick. Unbelievable. It just, this is also unbelievable, though, that she's just kind of going through, like, here's all the reason why our magazine was unprofitable, because it was an ideological cesspit. And yes, what does it have to do with it's a teen girls fashion magazine, originally. Yeah, gee, why did our magazine crash and burn? Because you turn it into a propaganda outlet. That's why you're gone now. Maybe it'll be a fashion magazine again. So, this is a bit of a fuck up on Anna Kasparian's part. So, Long Island couple admits to hacking up roommates with meat cleavers, scattering their heads. So I talked up Anna Kasparian because she was correct on the Epstein stuff. But she also, I'm not going to go into this too much. Actual Justice Warrior posted this. She heavily defended the people. I became Chinese there for a second.
Dismembering a corpse and hiding a corpse after dismembering it. Not bail eligible. Not a serious crime. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like when Joy Behar outlined that case, I was like, she's crazy. This isn't a thing. This isn't real. This isn't real. So I looked it up. It's real, guys. It's real. Listen, if...
Wait, did I get this wrong? Was she actually correct on this? If people hacked up the 2 corpses and released without bail, dismembering 2 corpses isn't a serious crime, and C, were in fact the murders all along. It's a plot twist. Obviously, full No, Anna was based here. Anna was based here. This shouldn't be in the Women Moment segment. Never mind. I misread those. Anna was based here. She actually figured it out. Anna's becoming increasingly based. Never mind. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean... I disparaged Anna for no reason. Here's someone I am going to disparage for good reason, which is Michelle Obama just talks about... Look, the reason why black people can't swim is because of they hair. They hair, so different. That's why they can't swim.
Explain something to white people.
Here's Big Mike. Okay, please explain it, Queen.
Out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards...
Well, you could just stop.
We are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us...
I know you're trapped by the straightness, you homosexual man.
...can't swim, and we run away...
By the way, I don't actually really think that Michelle Obama is a man. I just think it's funny to say it constantly.
...from the water. People won't go...
Well, I don't think she's human, so...
I don't know what she is, but I look, I don't actually think Michelle Obama is a man. I think she's just a very unattractive, manly woman. However, I think it's hilarious to constantly imply that she's a man with a giant dick. It's really funny.
Because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all.
So that's why you can't swim.
You're
trying to keep your hair straight.
So
oh wow, God, I hate it.
Takes up so much time.
Then don't do it. No one gives a shit.
Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act, an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair?
Not a singular soul is touching.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is, by the way, this is about being in the gym, swimming. Get out of our... Why don't you stop doing it? Why don't you stop doing this to your hair, then? Yeah, Senhoa Savage says get the Trudy off the screen. I shall. I'm trying to wrap this up. Oh, I want to talk about this really briefly. Is that... and Spoon, you might have an opinion on this, is that this, like, they are going after Andrew Wilson so hard over this. It seems to very coordinated to me over this. We made fun of this woman last week, but this was also part of the interaction. This is the part that's maintained virality.
Had aborted her children with those 3 relationships. Would she be less promiscuous or not?
I think that, frankly, in my opinion, her life would have been better spent.
Would she be less promiscuous, Charlie?
Yes.
Yeah, she'd be less promiscuous.
Yeah.
These fucking people.
They're talking about his wife, Rachel Wilson, who has children from multiple different men. So she would be less promiscuous if she had had an abortion. There's no reason to believe that, though. And I can understand why Andrew got upset here, because they're talking about something very personal. They should have never allowed this conversation to veer into his personal life to this degree. It's a bad move. He looked bad. There's no way he could have answered it in a way that would have looked good. Because his wife does have children from multiple partners. Should never have engaged in this conversation. However, I feel like we would be remiss to not discuss it, or at least bring it up. Because we had Andrew Wilson on the show. I don't think he did anything wrong. And we often talk about Andrew and what he does on whatever and elsewhere. What else was he supposed to say about this? He is correct that her having aborted those children would not have made her less promiscuous. But it is, and this is a problem with things, it does reflect badly on you, I guess, when you are a conservative and when you're trad in particular. Paleo ChristCon, of course, is his name, and the woman that you're married to does have this past. However, I also think that it's a little grotesque of people to constantly dig into it.
Rachel, you should have.
I'm talking about optics.
Rachel, you should have killed. You should have killed her kids, Rachel.
Maybe she should have.
Oh my God, this woman's disgusting. He shouldn't have called his wife. He shouldn't have done all this stuff he did on air. Like, this was a really bad look for Andrew, though.
So it's less promiscuous if I kill the children?
I mean, you're not killing children. You're having an abortion.
You are killing it. Oh my God.
Did you just say to me that my life would be better if I had aborted my children?
I mean, if I were in your shoes, I would have had a better time doing that.
Also, why is no one... all the stuff is about Andrew's kind of crash out there. Why is it not about the hideous thing she just said? Your life would be better if you had killed your children. I actually... I agree. I would have left this fucking shit too. I would have walked out of this disgusting stuff as well. Andrew Wilson clearly loves his wife. She's made mistakes in her life.
No reason
the
to stay...
children themselves are not mistakes. That's a human life.
There's no benefit to staying there and just taking this. Just let us spin our wheels and dig our own grave.
I know. I've got a little slop. I honestly think Wilson didn't do anything wrong. Everyone's trying to portray it as if he did. I would have crashed out too. So I think did I show this last week? No, Hassan pogging over his little red book that the Chi-Coms gave him. Well, he literally pogs.
Chat.
No way! No way! A symbol of authoritarian dictatorship. Wow, beast! Just not the kind of authoritarian dictatorship like a glorious monarchy I desire.
Wait. Sparrows would like to know your location.
Yes, oh look, he's literally fucking soy face pogging. Holy shit! The sparrows would like to know your location.
What, do you want me to starve? Well, you apparently do.
They're all pogging. It's unbelievable. Oh my god.
Little red bus.
It's the little red. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The weed out there must have been really strong.
Bible.
Dude, this is pathetic.
Some
Especially over here.
Yep.
Oh, wowee, Rick.
I know.
Jeez, wowee. Pathetic. Pathetic. This is the last thing I'm going to end on this. Because I just want to say something about this. I was thinking about it. I was like, should I bring this up? I do want to say something. These two actors are actors. They're not very good ones, or actresses, excuse me, are actresses. This whole shit that is going on between these two women in Wicked, Ariana Grande and I forget the other one's name, the witch, this one,
Xenomorph, yeah.
The Xenomorph, are clearly putting on a very bizarre public publicity. It is a publicity stunt where they act like they're in weird lesbians with each other and in a strange symbiotic relationship. But why is it so confusing to people to figure out that actors are bad actors are badly acting?
She's not even an actress. She's just a fucking musician. Not a very good one at that either.
No. Flan the Man for Two says apparently Jeb Bush is going for it again 2028. Look, he can still win. He can still win. Jeb! Exclamation point.
If you run on the Democrat ticket, it'll be funny.
It would be funny. I hope we get our guacamole again, though, at least.
I don't even call them that anymore.
So, look at, she looks like she's genuinely like a creature, like slinking in from the side. Going, oh no, the reporters are scaring me, Ariana.
New Pumpkinhead looks fucked up.
Sorry, Bella, say again.
New Pumpkinhead film looks fucked up.
Yeah, I should turn this down. It's so loud. Who's trying to look hot? So peaceful. It's not the only one. There's another one too. I'll just say the one. But look, they're acting. It's more slop that comes out, and it's like, everybody pay attention to this. Isn't it weird how strange these two are? Yes, because they're acting. That's why it's strange. Oh, the helicopter is flying over. I'm having a melty. I do love the picture of Barney that's been edited onto the screen for this woman's fit. Bish, why you dressed like Barney for real though? Anyway, there's the absurdity of Clown World. Like Black Nosferatu. Exactly, Black Nosferatu. Alright guys, I'm gonna let us get out of here. Thank you all so much for the donations. We will be on next week with my mother. An insane turn of events. And then the week after that, we will be on with Politicrat to talk about the future of the Democrat Party. We've got exciting things coming up here on Broken Crown. And this weekend, also, probably Saturday or Sunday, I'll be releasing my new video, so please go check that out as well. I think there's some interesting information in there. And I get to draw a lot of stink lines all over leftoids, which is always fun. Thank you guys so much for showing up and hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you all next week. Cheers, and bye-bye.
Yeah,